They lost last season's home opener as well. Didn't seem to bother them. Here's the starting lineups brought to you by Coors Light. Steve Nash, Raja Bell in the backcourt. Matt Barnes, of course, acquired in the offseason. A.Stoudemire inside. Shaquille O'Neal. For the Trailblazers, same starters as started the game last night. Steve Blake, Brandon Roy, Travis Outlaw at the 3. L.Aldridge, who had a nice game last night, on inside. Joel Przybilla, big matchup inside tonight. Przybilla and Shaquille O'Neal, they had several wars during the season last year. Well, it seems like we were just here. The final game of the regular season was in this building. Trailblazers lost to the Suns and, in fact, have lost 9 straight overall to Phoenix. They'll try and correct that when we come back. We'll get to the keys to the game, and we'll check in with Rebecca Harlow.
You recognize this art? We all helped create it. You see, up close, it's a picture of 60,000 plastic bags from retail stores. Here's another 400 plastic bags, about what the average family uses in a year. Now picture these 3 reusable bags from Fred Meyer. They'll replace those 400 bags. They're strong, convenient, resist tipping, and they're easy to carry. So come on, it's the right thing to do. What's on your list today?
Brakes. The most important system in your car. If you're experiencing symptoms of worn brakes, noise or grinding, pulsation, brake grab, or if your brake pedal needs excessive pressure, come into Les Schwab for a free brake inspection. If your brakes need service, we do it right, we do it complete. Repairing, resurfacing, replacing, and adjusting. All backed by our full parts and labor guarantee. Les Schwab Brake Service. If we can't guarantee it, we won't sell it.
And U.S. Airways Center sold out tonight as the Trailblazers and Suns meeting. Blazers playing the second of a very difficult back-to-back. As it's time to get you the Northwest Ford Store's keys to the game. For that, we turn to Mike Rice.
No matter what Terry Porter says about defense ruling, this club runs still. Set the tempo of the game. If you try to run with him, you lose. Points in the paint. That'll be very important with Shaquille O'Neal. Can Joel Przybilla stay out of foul trouble enough to stop points in the paint? And, of course, stop the pick and pull. A.Stoudemire and, of course, Steve Nash.
All right, those, the Northwest Ford Store's keys to the game. Now we check in with the third member of our broadcast team. She is Rebecca Harlow.
Mike, before we start this NBA game, we are taking you back, way back, to the high school game of both Channing Frye and Jared Bayless. Of course, both of them are from here in Arizona. If you take a look at Channing Frye, he is so small. I asked him about this. He actually came into the truck because he wanted to see these highlights, and he said, man, I was so skinny. And there you just saw Jared Bayless with a nice play. He said, gosh, it was so much easier to score then. Now with him, you have to remember that he was in high school just 2 years ago, but he's definitely come a long way. Both of them have a lot of family here tonight, and they're excited for this homecoming.
All right, Rebecca, and they both, of course, went to St. Mary's High here in Phoenix. And time to get you now the Corona Coaches Corner. For that tonight, we go to assistant Monty Williams talking about new Suns. No, same as they ever were.
Yeah.
I think they've added some new sets, but I think they have veteran guys who know how to play. They moved Grant Hill to the bench, which is pretty scary because he comes off with some firepower, and he's still one of the top small forwards in IQ. Maybe he doesn't have his legs, but he still can play the game with the best of them. And Nash is still Nash, Shaq is still Shaq, and Amari is Amari, and so we got our work cut out.
Well, the Trailblazers, an emotional victory last night, and as we mentioned before, that made the flight to Phoenix seem a little shorter last night, and getting in at 2:30 in the morning, never easy, but certainly easier following a win. Well, and Shaquille O'Neal and Joel Przybilla, we saw them match up last year. And, boy, they went at it several times.
And it'll be good. Shaq, of course, is up in age, and he doesn't score like he used to. But he can still, he's lost about 30 pounds going into this season. And if you remember, they were the second best team in the NBA the last 20 games of when Shaq came over to this ball club last year. Only Boston had a better record.
They'd love to get Joel in early foul trouble, and the Blazers get that rebound. And they'll have it off the Shaquille miss, but they go right inside to O'Neal for the first look.
Yeah, everyone thought, oh, that's terrible. They were 3-6 when Shaq first came over, but then they ended up 16-5 at the end of the season. And this ball club, although they lost in the first round of the playoffs, they've got talent.
LaMarcus Aldridge jump hook on the right block, and that's down to start the ball game for Portland.
That'll be a real interesting match. A.Stoudemire, of course, against LaMarcus Aldridge, two of the young, excellent power forwards in the NBA.
Boy, a lot of Trailblazer fans in the stands here tonight. That's nice to see if you're a Blazer fan. A lot of Jared Bayless uniforms. And we'll talk about that a little later. Foul's going to be on Outlaw guarding A.Stoudemire. That's a tough match for him. And he's actually trying to guard Barnes. They're doing a switch down low on that high low. And Stoudemire on that block wanting to get into things. You see the former Trailblazer, of course, Terry Porter.
Yeah,
first season as the head coach here.
Travis, it's a small forward, will switch on all cross picks with anybody like LaMarcus or Brandon Roy. He won't with Blake, but he does with everybody else.
Matt Barnes through the middle, sweeps to the rim and flips it in with the right hand.
Well, Matt Barnes, he left Golden State and took a one-year contract at $1.7 million. He's really taken a chance that he'll play well here and get another big contract.
He would seem a perfect candidate for the system in Phoenix, maybe the previous system more than this one, but Terry Porter's not doing things that much differently. He's just trying to play a little more defense, and they have not scored in their first couple of games like they are used to. Nash, the runner, is off. Presbilla and Shaq come together. No foul call, and the ball to the floor and picked up by Blake.
Everyone looks at Shaq as a great scorer, but he's a great offensive rebounder too.
And they have not been using Shaq in the first couple of games, at least. And in their home opener, that was especially the case. A lot of talk about that down here as Outlaw tries a three and it's off. Presbilla, though, the easy route as Shaq gave up on it for the offensive rebound.
And anything that bounces long, Shaq will give up on it. So you can out-hustle him. But if it comes down straight, he'll get it.
Matt Barnes out on Aldridge aggressively, but LaMarcus calmly steps back and hits the outside jumper. LaMarcus off the mark in the opener Tuesday at L.A., but boy, he got some confidence last night. You can see it early here.
Well, he was so nervous, and he told everybody after the ball game, I was just nervous. And of course, there's one of the great three-point shooters in the NBA, Raja Bell.
That was a long two for Bell.
You know, you put Barbosa, Steve Nash, and Raja Bell, and that's why they were the second best three-point shooting team in the NBA last year.
Brandon Roy had to go up against Bruce Bowen last night, and then tonight he gets one of the other terrific perimeter defenders in the NBA and Raja Bell on it. But that's what you get when you're an all-star. Matt Barnes for three, rims in. Well, went around about 5 times and finally dropped.
Like you said, MB, Matt Barnes is really cut out for this type of play, and they won't slow it down. You know, they averaged 56 wins in the last 4 years, so you're not going to leave that offense go.
Aldridge again from the perimeter. This one a little short. Another offensive rebound for Presbilla, and the shot clock reset as Blake has it in the corner.
He's just out-quicking Shaq to the ball every time.
Blake wants to take Nash out to Aldridge. Another jumper from the outside. Good again for LaMarcus Aldridge. So 6 points, all 6 points for LaMarcus as he is 3 for 4.
Terry Porter's yelling to that young man right there, Stoudemire, to put his hands up and maybe go out and play defense against LaMarcus Aldridge.
Aldridge, the quick hands there to strip that ball away from A.Stoudemire and didn't foul.
Raja Bell, of course, excellent defender. He's the one that always gets in with Kobe Bryant and bangs and bruises with him.
But Aldridge again firing away. This one off the mark. LaMarcus thought he was hit on the arm. Nash has it. Aldridge 5 shots already in this ball game. Blake a near steal. Presbilla run down by Stoudemire. And meanwhile, an easy dunk for Shaq.
Well, that's still their bread and butter, the pick and roll. They come out and do some different things. Boy, and there's something we didn't see last night at all.
Only 6 turnovers last night for Portland, and that is their first of this ball game.
But of course, that club, San Antonio, they don't create any turnovers. They're one of the worst in the NBA at that. One of the better defensive teams, but they don't get turnovers. Where this Phoenix team will go out and pressure a little bit more.
And Steve Nash hits his first field goal, and the Suns on top by 5.
They want to move this Phoenix Suns defense around quite a bit. Keep Shaq on the move.
Steve Blake along 2, they say. Ronnie Garrettson had the hand up. And then across the court, Courtney Kirkland saw a foot on the line. That was the correct call.
If Nash plays off, which he usually does on the other team's point guard, he doesn't want to get beat, then Blake should be able to make that shot. He's been making it all in preseason.
Still looks strange to glance down to the Phoenix bench and see Terry Porter calling the shots for the Suns. Brandon Roy, an open 3 from Aldridge. That's off the mark, and the rebound Barnes. Otherwise, Brisbane would have had another. Nash in transition. 3-pointer in the corner is good. You got to find Raja Bell, and that time he was wide open.
Well, he was, simply because Brandon Roy had to get back. Shaq beat Joel down the court. Brandon Roy was helping, and he left his man, Raja Bell.
Well, a fast start for the Phoenix Suns, who, again, lost their home opener here to New Orleans. They want to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Have you heard about our new Trailblazer ticket alert service?
Sign up now at trailblazer.com and get first access to newly released tickets throughout the season.
With the way our tickets are selling,
it may be your best way to get special access to tickets.
Dixon with 2 hands.
Plus, you also get a 10% discount at our online Trailblazers fan shop.
Lob to Rudy, and he lays it up and in.
Sign up now for Ticket Alert on trailblazers.com and start getting the inside track on tickets.
Chevy. Every pickup and SUV we make is available with an EPA estimated 20 mpg highway or better. Toyota and Ford can't say that. Get in and drive yours now during the Chevy Fall Drive. Drive Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Toyota Tundra. Choose 0% APR or $5,000 purchase cash back on these 08 Chevy Silverado half-ton models. See your Northwest Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com.
Okay, here we go.
Honey, did you go to Grover's yet to get that new doorbell?
I'll get to that later. Look at the prize patrol. Nobody's home.
Sooner or later, when you need anything in electrical or plumbing, you'll happily discover Grover's not only has it, but you'll see why Grover's is the hometown favorite.
Well, I guess nobody's home. Let's go to the next name on the list.
Grover's, it's worth the drive.
Well, Phoenix 7 for 10 shooting here early. Of course, San Antonio shot well all the game last night against Portland. Blazers 4 for 10 to start things off. We'll want to be entertained in style, run an executive suite for a Trailblazers game, a concert, or a family show at the Rose Garden this season. Call 503-797-9600 for more information. But the Spurs, Mike Rice, last night ended up shooting 56%, and I don't care who's playing for San Antonio, you just don't beat the Spurs when they shoot 56%.
Yeah, and a lot of that had to do with the Blazers taking 15 more shots. But Steve Nash, he gets a lot of shots up for this ball club. Very seldom does anybody on this court outshoot the Phoenix Suns when you try to run with them. And you see Nash just coming down and looking for the three-point shooters. Even if they have a 3-on-2 fast break, they fan out to the three-point lines. And, of course, Nash averaged 11.1 assists last year. Chris Paul averaged 11.2. So it was the first time in history anybody has ever had 11 assists a game and didn't win the assist title. Ronnie Garrettson, Brian Forte, and Courtney Kirkland are our referees tonight.
As Nate McMillan and his staff pleased with last night's performance, certainly following Tuesday's loss in Olay.
There are certain games that are really big games when you look back at somebody's season. Last night was one of those. The Blazers needed it. Their fans needed it. The coaching staff needed it. Everybody did. And as you said, FB, when San Antonio shoots 56%, they don't lose very often.
Aldridge, the runner, is off. Rebound. Barnes tried to keep it alive. LaMarcus dives to the floor and calls timeout. So this will probably be a 20.
Yeah.
Save the possession and use the 20 for this half, and they indeed will.
Now, if that was in the fourth quarter, that would be a bad call.
Yeah, you don't want to use that 20.
You don't want to use that 20 that early, but it's the first half.
And you're down 8 early, so you certainly would like the possession.
Yeah, and not a bad thing early when you're 8 behind. Is there an Affleck question tonight?
Now, you just saying that exposes the fact that you've already cheated. I know you. Don't even try it. Clyde Drexler's the all-time Blazer triple-double leader with 21. 2 players are next with 7 each, and you've got to name them. All right. Which I'm sure you can, because somewhere in the pile of chicken scratch in front of you is the answer. I'm going to find it, too.
I know Jason Kidd is the all-time leader in triple doubles, and there's a guy in this Phoenix team that's second, way behind. He only has 29. Grant Hill.
Yes.
And of course Jason Kidd has over 90 or 100 or something like that. He has a wild number.
And Grant Hill, they're bringing off the bench now here in Phoenix. The Suns drop into a zone defense out of the timeout.
I think that's smart, bringing Grant Hill off the bench. Get him about 20, 25 minutes a game. Matt Barnes, of course, has youth on his side. And how about Phoenix and Terry Porter they go into a zone.
Yeah, and Blake hits the 3. That's a little bit of a zone buster.
Yeah, and Blakey can hit that shot. He's been hitting it the whole summer. And then that injury set him back his shooting like it did Channing Frye. Injuries set your shooting back because you have to get your timing back again and your rhythm.
That snaps a 14-4 Phoenix run. Nash for 3, and he buries that in the corner. Raja Bell had hit from that very spot just moments ago.
Only Capona shot better from the three-point line than Steve Nash last year. Nash, 47%, 50% from the field, 91 from the foul line.
Entry pass, Roy to Aldridge. Aldridge back to Roy. Now back to LaMarcus. Wild shot inside is off. Rebound saved by Roy. Hit a son, but then caromed right to A.Stoudemire. Phoenix has it. Matt Barnes, same corner, has been giving Portland trouble. That's the 3rd 3 from that corner. They're 4 for 4 from long range. Well, I thought we'd seen enough of this last night when San Antonio just caught fire from behind the three-point line late in that game. Outlaw steps through the middle, finger rolls up and in. Blazers needed that.
Yeah, the Blazers, this is a gambling Phoenix defense, so you don't take the first opportunity. Maybe you get a better opportunity. You don't want to, as much as Terry Porter says, we're going to slow it up. This team, they're just not built to slow it up. They are a running team, even with Shaq.
And the foul on Aldridge, his first, as Travis Outlaw out. Nicholas Batum and Rudy Fernandez check in for Portland. Steve Blake out, so now Brandon Roy will go to the point, and Fernandez will play the 2. We're going to see this lineup a lot, and this is an exciting lineup for Portland. Certainly was last night. And of course, then there's the storyline that Portland purchased the rights to Rudy Fernandez for, and I say this, and you know what I mean, a measly $3 million of NBA money. And not only did they get Sergio Rodriguez from Phoenix the year before, 2 years before, then they get Rudy Fernandez. And a lot of people down here saying, how did we let this guy slip away for $3 million on draft day?
And it's the same with Marcus Camby at Denver. It's all cost cutting. It's teams that are over the luxury tax are trying to get rid of people that they're going to have to pay first rounders. They never dreamed that the development would come from a guy like Batum and a guy like Rudy Fernandez. They are really opening a lot of eyes around the NBA.
Here's Batum, tries to drop it down low to Aldridge and does. LaMarcus had it blocked by Shaq. Gets it back, though, off the glass at the shot clock buzzer.
Well, LaMarcus thought Shaq gave him a little bump underneath. Shaq is not the dominating shot blocker he was when he played for the Orlando Magic. He's got a little age on him right now.
No team fouls yet for Phoenix, but that is the second foul on LaMarcus Aldridge. So we talked about Joel Prisbilla staying out of foul trouble and how vital that is for Portland. Well, just as vital that LaMarcus Aldridge stays out, but he's got 8 of Portland's points, and now he's going to have to come out.
And he was the leading scorer against this Phoenix team last year. So he does score against this team. And he's fouled out 7 times last year. Only Mikey Moore and Granger fouled out more.
Good defense by Prisbilla, but Shaq backing down and got his way into the lane and banked it in. Here's Roy. Batum across the middle. Tried to pass it to Aldridge. Probably should have shot it. 2-on-1. Rudy back. Barnes lays it up and in.
You make a mistake against them. That's why Terry Porter shouldn't even talked about changing Mike D'Antoni's offense. It's a great offensive weapon.
Roy over Shaq. Down goes Shaq. He's all right. Thank goodness Roy wasn't there. We'd be picking him up with a spatula.
And that's why they put Roy at the point, just to bring Shaq out and work some pick and roll with Roy handling the ball. Although Blake was 2 for 3, I was a little surprised he went out this early.
Amari, there's that corner again. Barnes this time misses. Stoudemire trying to keep the rebound alive, and Shaq as well, but it's picked up by Roy. Portland a chance to run 4-on-3. Left side, Batum didn't get a clean catch on the ball. And now they'll try and set it up.
Boy, they had Rudy Fernandez against S.Nash over the other side.
Roy over Shaq again. This one long. Rebound tipped and kept alive by Aldridge, but taken by Nash. Shaq's tired. He wants out. Hasn't even crossed half court. Doesn't need to, probably. But it's off of Stoudemire out of bounds. So Shaq gets the timeout he wanted. He'll come out of the ball game. But the Suns red hot shooting. 11 for 15, 73%, and a 10-point lead over Portland.
This is my new Ford Fusion.
We found that Ford's fuel economy makes quite a story when you talk to the people who drive one.
The gas mileage on the Ford Focus is amazing. The Escape had the best gas mileage for a small SUV.
To not have to stop as much for gas is always going to be a pleasant surprise.
I was really surprised that I was able to get so far on so little.
Visit a Ford dealer to see our complete lineup of fuel-efficient vehicles.
Now with $2,500 cash back, pay under $13,200 for an 09 Focus. That's $2,500 cash back on Focus. See your Northwest Ford stores today.
Digital TV is coming this February. You've got questions. The experts at Standard TV and Appliance have answers. Choosing a plasma, LCD, or DLP TV? What size? What brand? Will you be watching movies or video gaming? And what accessories will you need? Standard can help with a huge selection of top-name brands and a low price guarantee. So you'll be ready for the amazing picture quality of HD TV. Standard TV and Appliance and KGW, your digital experts. Down to 2:14 left here in the opening quarter. Phoenix on top by 10, and we check in with Rebecca Harlow.
To all you Blazer fans out there, I want you to imagine this scenario. You're sitting having breakfast, and Muhammad Ali, the man who represents the civil rights movement, walks into your breakfast room and says hello. That is exactly what happened to the Blazers this morning. They were completely surprised by a visit from the champ. The guys were in complete awe. They stood up, they started clapping, cheering, yelling, "the champ." They were just so amazed that they were in his presence. I asked the guys for some of their reaction, and Channing Frye said, "It's one of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me." Brandon Roy said, "It's so humbling. Every athlete looks up to him." Nate McMillan said, "Man, I just could not stop looking at his fist. That fist has taken down so many great men." Of course, needless to say, it was a very special moment for the players where for once they were the ones asking for autographs and pictures.
And that was great, Rebecca, this morning. Again, as you mentioned, it was just the normal players' breakfast on the second game of a back-to-back. In walks the champ.
Yeah.
And
no one was tired after Muhammad Ali walked in.
As Phoenix has it, Portland has it, down by 10. Here's Rudy Fernandez out of the timeout for 3 off the mark. So Phoenix has been on fire from behind the three-point line, 4 for 5 early. Blazers now 1 for 3.
And you notice Steve Nash was left in the dust by Rudy Fernandez. Rudy probably shot that a little quick. He could have penetrated, I think, a little bit more and maybe caused some foul trouble against the Phoenix Suns. Blazers have not been to the foul line.
Now Rudy on Nash. Channing Frye grabs the miss.
Of course, Channing Frye, we said, University of Arizona, St. Mary's.
Batum spins it up around and off. And the Suns back the other way. As we're seeing now, we saw this a little bit last time. A.Stoudemire loses control, and now they'll set it up. When Brandon Roy and R.Fernandez are in there, you'll see Rudy play a little point and set the offense. And we saw that last trip.
Especially if Nash is on him. Nash cannot check R.Fernandez.
Amari from deep. Maybe a little too deep, and Catfish Outlaw the rebound.
Blazers, this is as small as the Blazers have gone so far in the 2-game series. 2 games in this season. With Channing Frye at the center. And
what a crossover. Roy on Diaw, and he gets the roll. Boy, Diaw guessed wrong, and that's really all you can do. And Brandon Roy starts that dribble. Nash hits it over Rudy.
Well, Nash says Rudy can take me, but I can take him. The best shooter in the NBA, bar none. And all you have to do is look at his stats for the 3 shooting categories.
Roy tried to throw up the shot, and he did get the foul on A.Stoudemire, so he'll shoot free throws. And Brandon will stay in the ballgame. He was going to come out as Sergio Rodriguez set to check in. This is the last crossover we just saw. Well, look at Diaw jump right and miss, and then Brandon takes him with the right hand.
Diaw's another one of the guys that can check 5 different positions. He'll check a center, power forward, and he'll go right down the line as you see him going against Brandon Roy.
Goran Dragic has checked in for Phoenix. That was the first free throw of the game for Portland, by the way.
Well, without Shaq in there, the Blazers will be going inside a little bit more. They do have a shot blocker in A.Stoudemire, but you can get him into foul trouble also.
Blazers should get the final shot of the quarter, barring a foul. Portland, by the way, does have a foul to give. They picked up those 3 quick team fouls. Batum steals with those long arms. Blazers 2-on-2. Batum to the hoop, and he'll shoot free throws. Raja Bell had to take the foul. Boy, we've seen an example of those long arms of Batum both last night and tonight.
He's just one of those guys that gets into the passing lanes, and he anticipates so well. Now, R.Fernandez and Sergio are the same way. They get into passing lanes, and sometimes they go after balls and miss. But, you know, the Blazers were last in the NBA in steals last year. Yesterday against San Antonio, what did they have, 11? 11 steals. They averaged,
which led to 14 fast break points.
Absolutely. They averaged 5 steals a game last year, and they'll be up because of this guy Batum and R.Fernandez. They're guys, they're young, they're energetic, they get into passing lanes.
And the Blazers have cut that lead down to 6.
Blazers go matchup zone. And this Batum is not too familiar with this, so they're going to have to lead him around a little bit.
Dragic. It's out to Barnes for 3. That's off the mark. Suns offensive rebound. Dragic, and he can't hit it as the clock expires, and the first quarter is in the books. So the Suns have built a 12-point lead, and the Blazers whittled that in half as we came to the end of the quarter. Portland trying to end a long losing streak to Phoenix here tonight before we head back home and then get ready to fly to Utah as the tough early season schedule continues.
Check out Rasmussen BMW's new and certified pre-owned BMW inventory at RasmussenBMW.com. Discover the values and the Rasmussen difference. Special lease and finance options are now available from BMW Financial Services.
The NBA season is back, and you can get it for less with the best deal in sports. NBA League Pass Early Bird Offer. Order by November 4th and save $20 off the regular season price. See the top stars and your favorite teams wherever you live. And watch games online with NBA League Pass Broadband, which is included with your subscription. NBA League Pass is just $169 for a limited time. To order and save $20, call now.
Coming up on Comcast Sportsnet.
Wednesday at 6 p.m., the Trailblazers take on Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer, and the Utah Jazz. Then Monday at 4 p.m., the team travels to Orlando for a matchup against Dwight Howard and the Magic. Catch all the action on Comcast Sportsnet, your home of the Portland Trailblazers. Game on.
must be here.
Are you getting paid to shop? Make sure you sign up for your Fred Meyer Rewards card. And this could be you next time Freddie sends out their rebates. They're as good as cash. What's on your list today?
Check out Rasmussen BMW's new and certified pre-owned BMW inventory at RasmussenBMW.com. Discover the values and the Rasmussen difference. Special lease and finance options are now available from BMW Financial Services.
Well, Phoenix shoots 60% in that opening quarter. Portland 43%, and the Suns a 6-point lead. You get the feeling Portland happy to be down only 6 after the way the Suns started off red hot. Well, Blazer fans, Kia Motors and the Trailblazers giving you a great offer. Test drive any new Kia vehicle at a participating Portland Kia retailer and get 2 tickets to an upcoming Trailblazers game. For complete details, log on to trailblazers.com. Blazers return with Sergio Rodriguez and Rudy Fernandez in the backcourt. Travis Outlaw and Nicholas Batum, so obviously Outlaw will play the power forward spot. And Channing Frye will be at the 5. A.Stoudemire, Blazers get through 1 quarter. He has not scored in the game.
Yeah, but now he'll go at Travis. He'll try to take Travis around and get real active with the pick and roll. And it's the guy that's hurt him so far is Matt Barnes. He was run into that corner. And 2 years ago, he had a great season with Golden State. And his mother died, and he really had tough times last year. Got into Nelly's doghouse as St. Mary's High School scores. 1 of 2 St. Mary's grads.
Grant Hill is into the ball game for Phoenix.
Young man from Slovenia can handle the basketball.
Well, they weren't sure if he was going to come over. Dragic, but they did get him over here. Originally a draft pick of San Antonio's, and they traded the draft rights to Phoenix. Fernandez steps in and gets the steal, trying to save and can't. But that play was created by Fernandez coming over and trying to disrupt that little exchange in the paint. And 1 to shoot for Phoenix now.
See, guards in the NBA don't rotate like that. European guards, they're always thinking about helping out. There is no illegal defense.
And Amari short with the jumper at the shot clock buzzer. Chance for Portland to run, although Phoenix back defensively. Look at him back off on Sergio. Boris Diaw out defending Sergio, as they're really just playing zone again, or a matchup zone, it looks like. Rudy from the elbow hits, and boy, we haven't seen that runner a lot. We saw it a lot in the exhibition season, but boy, he certainly has that shot. Portland has kept this lead at 2.
Well, he knows Dragic. He played against him in the Euro League, so he knows he can score on that young guy.
Diaw inside, gives to Grant Hill for 2, missed everything, and a loose ball foul on Diaw, who threw Nicholas Batum out of the way. And last night, of course, Nicholas Batum went up against France's Tony Parker, and tonight France's Boris Diaw throws France's Nicholas Batum out of the way.
Yeah, and boy, the big smile on his face, Nicholas, all the time when he can speak to a fellow countryman in the language that he can understand.
They go under the pick on Sergio, and that's the shot he's got to make.
And he has been making it. Given the time, you can't play 5 minutes in NBA and feel comfortable about your shot, but it's just so difficult with Roy and Blake playing well.
Diaw top of the key. That snaps a 10-0 Portland run. Gives the Suns the lead back.
And like you said earlier, Blazers are just ecstatic that they're this close.
Have not played well yet, and Phoenix has shot extremely well. Channing Frye, the miss there.
And they did not like that shot.
You got that right.
Yeah, that was a University of Arizona shot, not a Blazer shot.
Murray fouled on the way up by Channing Frye, so free throws coming for Amari. You see Amari wearing the glasses. He had a pretty bad eye injury early in training camp and had to sit out, and it was scary. As he said, he was really scared. He almost, when it happened, it was like a torn cornea. He couldn't see for a few days, and that'll get your attention. And now he's wearing the goggles. I guess they're not goggles anymore. They're little glasses.
Yeah, they're a little more advanced than James Worthy used to wear, but he started the trend.
Well, Kareem, I think, should get that credit.
Yeah, right. Now that I think about it, Kareem was the first to have the space goggles.
Yeah. And Amari makes 1 of 2.
And this Phoenix Suns, a lot of people, they're flying under the radar, this team, but they still have a ton of talent.
Down goes Travis. He gets the catch anyway. Gives the pass down low. Give him an assist from the seat of his pants.
They worked on that play. Travis falls down. Nate says, call a timeout. No, throw it to the open man.
Heads up by Sergio and by Outlaw. Travis simply acted like it was part of the play. Made the catch, turned, gave the bounce pass, easy bucket. Morris Diaw doing like dribble and then travels with the ball. We go the other way.
Blazers are sagging off. As you see the last trip, here it is, the fall down play.
It's the fall down pick and roll.
Sure.
There's Travis.
And
there's the open man. There he is.
Sometimes known as catfish.
Yeah. Travis is called catfish by Monty Williams, and I know that Monty is excited for that nickname to catch on. Travis not so much. But
yeah.
It's you know, the first rule in Man 101 is you don't get to choose your own nickname. Nice drop pass. Batum on the baseline over Amundsen.
Batum does it again.
Sergio with the assist to Nicholas. Boy, he's always in the right spot.
Yeah, and nice pass by Sergio. Working with this second unit that worked so well in preseason. They got to double that guy.
Steal, Fernandez, 2-on-1.
Look around.
He finds the trailer. Travis tried to tack it. Amundsen got a piece, and Phoenix comes the other way. Dragic. Bell for three. Or excuse me, Barbosa for three off the mark. Rebound Fernandez.
That's what Barbosa does. He can shoot you out and he can shoot you in. Great three-point shooter, but some nights he'll go 1 for 9 and not stop shooting.
And he's the one guy who really has been used as Sergio drives baseline. Really one guy who's been used differently in this Terry Porter system has been Barbosa.
Yeah.
He maybe is the guy that is the least happy with the exit of Mike D'Antoni. He was so perfect for that system.
Oh, absolutely. He's second in the NBA in fast break points.
Blazers by 1. They've trailed by 12.
Out here in the West, winter's just another season for adventure. And we know how to make the most of it. Even braving the elements and slick conditions won't dampen our spirits. What matters most is arriving safely. And safety comes down to simply this: the right traction. From the company that knows it best, Les Schwab Tires. We help make getting there and winter safer.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
We're launching a great new product served in a bowl. Who knows what it is?
Peas. Coleslaw.
Melon balls.
Prunes.
Mints.
Little gifts. Poppy seed.
Curds and whey. Buttons. Acorn.
Shaved ice.
You wouldn't think you could get an entire meal in a bowl, but you can. Introducing Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Your choice of sirloin steak or grilled chicken on a bed of steamed rice topped with broccoli, carrots, and teriyaki sauce.
Laser pointers. Baked trout.
Lipstick.
Starfish.
Glitter.
Rain. Marbles. Kelp.
Confetti.
Blazers up to 50% shooting for the game now. Portland 5 of 8 here in the quarter, and they've got a 1-point lead. Well, it's time to get you tonight's steal of the game. It's 4 tickets in the purple section to the game against the Sacramento Kings on the 24th. 4 tickets for $88 plus a Greg Oden bobblehead. That's a good deal. $88. 4 tickets to see the Blazers take on the Kings. 797-9600 or visit trailblazers.com. Right now, take a look at this pass. Sergio to Batum.
Yeah, and he just sneaks down that baseline when Grant Hill, a veteran, turned his head. And the youngster, Nicholas Batum, really came alive. And he just does a lot of things. We asked him tonight, don't be nervous. He went, huh? He has no idea what the word means, nervous.
Well, you said no fear.
No
Nicholas.
fear.
And he said, thank you very much. And
Yeah.
I said, no, Nicholas, he means no fear. And he said, thank you very much.
I think there's a 13-3 run by the Blazers. Second chance points even better. 9-0 in Portland's favor.
Second shot that Outlaws had blocked by Louis Amundsen in the last couple of minutes, and Portland gets it back with 2 to shoot.
Do you think Nicholas thought I said, "Do you want a beer"?
No, he's only 19. We don't allow that. Some nice bounce pass, but Batum had it blocked, and that'll do it for the shot clock, and that'll be a Portland turnover.
Well, that's a quick 2 seconds, I'll tell you that. Nice pass, good play, and a great block. Boris Diaw has really gained weight. He doesn't know if he's a power forward or center. And Nate is saying the same thing to the timekeeper. That was a quick 2 seconds. It really was.
Diaw scores and he's fouled. Outlaw the foul. So a 3-point opportunity.
And Nate is really upset now. That was not the defense he wanted. He wanted a double team. He wanted something down there, and he wanted a little more than a quarter of a second on that last out-of-bounds play.
And Diaw completes the 3-point play, and that gives the Suns the lead back at 2.
This has been the pattern of Phoenix Suns basketball. When Nash goes out of the game, they're hopeless. And although Dragic he's young, he's played 4 years in Slovenia, so he's not.
Sergio for 3, and he hits it out top. And, well, that'll make you come out and defend Rodriguez, because we see how teams back off against him. Phoenix has started that tonight already.
His shot has improved so much. And Bayless is over. He's from, of course, St. Mary's High and Fenton University of Arizona. He wants to play tonight. Oh!
Steal, Batum. As Sergio hit a 3, he's only been given 2. As the official stat screen is slow, but here's the steal. There's the long arms again by Nicholas Batum. Second time we've seen that.
He's got a tremendous first step, and then the long arms and the ability to time everything perfectly.
Travis crossover move on Amundsen, who's blocked him twice. Travis has blocked that as he fades away in a trademark outlaw shot. So the Catfish gets one down.
Yeah, I know. The Catfish did not shoot an easy shot. That was difficult. But with this second unit, Travis has the green light.
Channing Frye steal. Nice job coming over from the help side. 5 Phoenix turnovers. Rudy sets up for 3. Yes, sir.
Oh, the Spanish connection's hot tonight.
In Phoenix, you could have had both of those guys, and you sold them both to Portland.
Cheapskates.
Dragic has it out top for the Suns.
They have to pay Nash and Shaq.
Right. That's why. Grant Hill through the middle. His little hook is off. Rebound Outlaw. This bench unit doing a good job for Portland. The Spanish connection on tonight.
Now, but Batum did the right thing there. He did not put the ball up. Well, for a minute, I thought he was going to shoot.
Rudy takes it at Dragic. Outlaw wouldn't take the 3. Wants to go inside. All around Barbosa.
Now, that is smart basketball. A guy, Outlaw, that plays so much better with the second unit. Remember, second leading scorer in the NBA off the bench last year. He's doing it again tonight.
And look at the Blazers starters up and out on the floor. Congratulating the bench players for building this lead to 8. And again, Portland trailed by 12 in the first quarter.
Jim Stark talks about Stark's Vacuum's price guarantee.
There's a misconception that buying from a specialty store like Stark's would be more expensive. That's simply not true. Stark's has a best price policy. We read ads just like anybody else. We shop our competitors, and we will match price. Buying from Stark's, you really get better value. We have products that you won't find in a discount store or a variety store. A lot of times for the same price, you can get a machine of better quality that they don't offer.
Experience the difference at all 8 neighborhood Stark's Vacuums locations.
Someday, a backyard. Today, talk to a Wells Fargo banker. You'll find low rates and a mortgage that's right for you. Seize your someday. Wells Fargo.
Come see us now at J. Lee's Gladstone Nissan. Nissan Versa, horsepower and the most interior room. Nissan Sentra, roomy, stylish, and peppy. Nissan Altima with luxury for all. Nissan Maxima, the 4-door sports car. J. Lee's Gladstone Nissan on Southeast McLaughlin's Auto Row.
Something big is happening in Gladstone. J. Lee's Gladstone Honda is the largest Honda showroom west of the Mississippi, and it's right here in Portland. The easiest and lowest cost shopping on any new or certified Honda at J. Lee's Gladstone Honda. See for yourself. J. Lee's Gladstone Honda on Southeast McLaughlin's Auto Row.
Just past the midway point of the second quarter, Trailblazers leading the second quarter 20-6. And time to give you the steal of the game once again. 4 tickets in the purple section to the game against the Kings on the 24th for just $88, and you also get as a bonus a Greg Oden bobblehead. Call right now. Operator standing by, 797-9600. Talk about the play of the bench, Mike Rice, that has built this lead.
Oh, it has. 18-5. They've outscored Phoenix's bench. Nash out of the ball game. Blazers just go with guys like Travis Outlaw. Sergio Rodriguez finds a cutting. Batum going down the alley. So the bench has done a great job.
Rebecca, what do you have?
Mike, the last couple of huddles have been all about defense. At first, it was put defensive pressure on the ball earlier. We have to limit the fast break points. Rodriguez and Batum have taken care of that. And that last time out, it was all about inside defense. Nate said, we got to dig on the post up. We are standing and watching the ball, put pressure on them inside and force the jumper.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. Steve Nash back in. They need him in the ball game. Grant Hill goes high off the glass. No. A.Stoudemire rebound, knocked away, gets it back again, and he'll shoot free throws. Trailblazers in this quarter. We talked about this last night, Mike Rice. This is a big reason why Portland won. The Blazers have 13 field goal attempts in the quarter to Phoenix's 6, which you just never saw that in the past.
Yeah, and if you get a lot more shots than the other team, you don't have to shoot the percentage. And it's proving out tonight because this Phoenix team is shooting 54%, and the Blazers now are up to 53%. But, and this is a big but, they've got the starters back in there, A.Stoudemire and Steve Nash. So maybe the Blazers will have to go back with their starters.
Portland 9 for 13 shooting here in the quarter.
Barbosa has checked Rudy Fernandez in international ball a lot. Brazil versus Spain.
They lob it up. Rudy the catch. Spins it up. Wasn't even looking at it.
Hurt Barbosa. Oh, man.
That was a catch with his back to the basket. Nowhere to go with it. He bailed out Sergio, who gave him the pass. Now Portland back in his zone. As Shaq heads to the table, he'll check in next day.
Good move going to the zone.
Nash, Barbosa. Nash shot clock at 2. How often do you say that with Phoenix? Nash short with the shot, and that's a shot clock violation, Phoenix. And that was that zone defense that seemed to rattle the Suns.
Yeah, last year, remember, as we see Sergio throw the alley-oop.
Didn't even see where the rim was until he was on the other side. Look at that.
Now, I'll tell you what. You know, you talk about Jordan, you talk about Dr. J. Now that move right there, and that's in the air on one side and does a double pump without touching the ground.
Rudy 7 points here in the quarter.
Now you got to be patient. Nice.
Sergio passed up the 3 to Outlaw, off the mark. Rebound tipped and taken by Hill. Nash has numbers. Grant Hill down the middle. Banks it in.
Now Grant Hill can still do it.
Blazers back. Rudy leaked out. Thought he might have had some running mates, but the Phoenix Suns back well defensively.
Remember, Grant Hill is a 5-time All-Star. He still has savvy.
And timeout, and a good timeout called by Nate McMillan. A full timeout with 4:11 left here in the first half. But the Trailblazers on top by 6 here in Phoenix.
You saw it on television. Not one, but 2 fans winning brand new Toyota Tundras. Now here's your chance to win a brand new Toyota. Your local Toyota dealers and the Trailblazers are giving you a chance to make a half-court shot and drive away in a new 2009 Toyota. To put a whole new spin on things, we'll have each lucky contestant spin a wheel to see which great Toyota vehicle they're shooting for. As many as 6 fans could drive away with a brand new 2009 Toyota. Enter at Trailblazers.com for your chance to spin and win a new Toyota.
If you want a loaded truck for a lower price, then you want the special edition Ford Ranger XLT. At 26 mpg, it's America's most fuel-efficient pickup with a 5-star safety rating. Now with $3,500 cash back, get a Ranger XLT Super Cab for $229 a month plus a 2-year no-charge maintenance plan. Equipped with power windows, power locks, keyless entry, AC, and CD player.
Up-level gear, entry-level price. Get your special edition Ranger before November 3rd. Only at your Northwest Ford stores.
Tony Luffman and Michael Holden inside the home court studios. We'll be with you at the half. Right now, it's a 6-point Blazer lead, Coach.
The Trailblazers are working their behinds off, Tony. Crawled back in it. The second unit, high energy. Woo! Nicholas Batum taking his game on the road show. I like it. So nice, I want to see it twice. No, that's Rudy. Dipsy Doo, Dr. J-ish. Look at that. Don't try it at home. Ooh. I can finger roll.
Let's head back out to the U.S. Airways Center to Mike, and Rebecca.
All right, guys. Yeah, it was a beautiful move. Let's take a look at that again, as you guys were just talking about it. Now, watch how close Rudy is to landing on the floor. Look at this. Just bare. How close, Steve? About that close.
Yeah, about that. Blakey, you got to appreciate that. Look at this. And he's done it before. Not that spectacular, but he's done that shot 3 times so far this season and in the preseason.
Rudy stays in. Phoenix back in that zone. Aldridge got an early foul trouble, takes a very difficult shot. That's off the mark.
He had R.Fernandez wide open. The Blazers get the ball. The zone drops back in. This is where Shaq doesn't hurt you like he used to.
Trying to reestablish position. Prisbilla playing good defense. Shaq though flips it in.
And the main thing is, when you play this Phoenix team, you have to play single coverage on Shaq. Don't leave their three-point shooters open.
Blake open baseline. Roy up top. Rudy open look at a 3. Ah, he held the pose. It looked like it was down.
Yeah.
As Nash was late, and it just was a little bit short.
And that's why Terry Porter's gone to a zone defense. He worked all preseason on that man-to-man, and now he has to go zone against the Blazers.
Murray got the shoulder into the chest of Aldridge and just took him right down deep into the paint and flipped that up and in. So A.Stoudemire only 5 points. That's his first field goal of the game.
Yeah, and that's what they
lobbed it for Prisbilla. Grant Hill though pokes it away. Phoenix trying to take advantage of the Portland turnover. There haven't been many of them so far. Raja Bell short. Rebound Prisbilla. And look at Nate McMillan saying, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, you want to push it up. You want to run Shaq. You've got Aldridge that can beat Shaq down the court.
Rudy wanted to go with that 3. That's just the way he plays, and you got to love it. Elbow jumper. Got a better one and hit it.
Well, once again, Shaq had to come out, and he didn't come out. R.Fernandez, internationally, he's an Olympic guy. He knows when they don't come out, shoot the ball. That's what they do in Spain.
And he leads Portland now with 9. Amari down the left side. Finger roll is short, trying to get it back, and does. The Roy comes and takes it, but doesn't do it without fouling.
I don't know about that.
And that'll be 4 team fouls on Portland. Take a look.
See, they're dissecting that zone. He knows that Shaq won't come out in the middle of that zone, so he just penetrates and stops. Nice shot. Blazers go back to man-to-man now.
Nash gets a pick from Shaq out top. Now Blake momentarily on Shaq, and Nash then gets the open look and hit. So
Chris Paul, you can drop off because he won't shoot it right away. He can make it, but Nash will shoot it right away.
Suns stay in the zone. Outlaw, shot clock at 10. Travis between the legs, hops to the middle. Nash took it away.
Once again, the Blazers haven't been hurt by turnovers, and Phoenix is back into this ball game. Blazers taking a lot of outside shots.
Now on the zone doing to them what it does to many teams when Portland plays it. A little bit confusing.
Portland just ran the Suns right out of that man-to-man defense. Now they got to do the same against this zone.
Aldridge tough shot. Prisbilla wanting a loose ball foul. There is no whistle. They stopped like there was. Nash in the corner. They try to fire inside. Aldridge, though, knocked it out of bounds. This is a 12-4 Phoenix run. They've led by as many as 12. Portland has led by as many as 8 in this back and forth first half.
Blazers have been getting the shots against the zone. Aldridge, they're getting the ball very nicely into the middle, but he just can't make that little turnaround.
22nd timeout called by Terry Porter with just 1:12 left in the half, and veteran players like Terry Porter realize the value of closing a half, closing a quarter strong, and he wants to make sure he gets something good out of the possession. Is this a subway? 22nd timeout.
And you know, last year, the reason they said that Phoenix didn't do well in the first round of the playoffs and got knocked out in the first round was that Steve Nash was so tired. He had played so many minutes. So Terry Porter said, I am going to rest him more. By looking at Phoenix in the first 3 games, you cannot take Nash out of this lineup. They're lost without Steve Nash in the game.
And for a little extra size, because of Stoudemire and Shaquille O'Neal, Ike Diogu, who spent a little time here in Phoenix, going to Arizona State, of course. He has checked in for Portland. There he is. Big Ike is going to be called upon at times this season. And he knows to stay ready. Not only can he score the ball, but he's a strong defender.
I like what Nate's doing right here with the young man from Arizona State. Plus, he can get Amari Stoudemire in a little bit of foul trouble if the Blazers go inside to him, which I think they will.
Bell, who gets the push off on Roy. No foul called either way, and that's probably the best call, was a no call.
I thought Roy might have been hitting him a little bit down low.
Brandon, open jumper, short with it. And Stoudemire the rebound. So the Blazers have been in this game and have built their lead. Now they don't have it, of course, but have done a lot of this without Brandon Roy being particularly strong. Just 2 of 6 on the night. Shaq and Prisbilla came together, and this time it's Shaq getting up slowly and Prisbilla standing.
Remember when Shaq
might have hurt himself.
You remember when Prisbilla went down and Shaq went down over him with the ball, and
that was early last season.
Yeah, nailed him right in the face.
And that Joel saw a chiropractor about 3 times a week for the rest of the season because of that play and never talked about it. And Shaq going to the line now
with his size 22 shoe.
Yeah, he doesn't have small feet. That's first foul on Prisbilla. And Shaq makes him pay. Sure. Look at those feet.
Yeah, 22s.
Greg Oden, of course, is size 19, so not small in his own right. This would have been the Oden-Shaq matchup, but there's still 3 more of these meetings this season.
And it's a Jay Jensen matchup now with Oden. Jay stayed home to work with the young man.
Yeah, Blazers head athletic trainer.
And I think he's going to be back a lot quicker than people think.
Oh. Travis's pass over the head of Roy and out of bounds. 6-second difference shot clock and game clock. Portland should have a final look, but again, we said a moment ago, the importance of closing a quarter, and Portland not doing a good job of that here.
Yeah, they had him on the rocks, and then they're still getting shots. Like Brandon Roy is missing opens. You got to get him going in that second half.
Diogu against Amari. Blake comes down and steals. And Portland back with it. Shot clock is off. 5 seconds. Roy, he ended the first half with a 3 last night. Can he do it again? Yes, sir! Mr. Momentum. 1.2.
I know that's a play.
Bell from half court. It's short. And Brandon Roy does it again on back-to-back nights, ending the first half with a 3-pointer. You could feel it coming. And Brandon struggled some in the first half, but the bench was there to pick up Portland tonight.
Yeah, maybe it was Brandon Roy. All he needed was that shot clock to run down.
R.Fernandez in that bench leading the way as we go to the half with Portland a 1-point lead over the Phoenix Suns. Michael and Tony coming up next.
I love steak, man.
Enjoy your steaks, gentlemen.
Is this it? You didn't order?
Valet's getting mine. I'm not a steak guy anymore, you know? Oh, there it is. Triple steak burrito. See, I'm more of a triple steak kind of guy.
Oh.
Taco Bell's new triple steak burrito. Steak, and more grilled marinated steak. There's steak night, then there's triple steak night.
Triple steak guys, that's what we are. In here.
Monday on Comcast Sportsnet.
Back in and doubled up and dunks.
Before he was a Blazer, he was one of college basketball's most elite players. Don't miss a chance to relive one of Greg Oden's most memorable games from college. The 2007 National Championship game between Ohio State and Florida. Before he was a Blazer. Monday at 8 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet. Game on.
Spring Tulip Red, available at Miller Paint. Miller Paint, your color, our paint.
The McDonald's halftime report, the Blazers with a lead at the break in the desert. 50-49 the score at the end of the first half of play. Travis Outlaw making the most of the view and finding a teammate. That's a nice play by Travis Outlaw. Welcome inside the home court studio. Tony Luffman, Michael Holton, and another halftime lead for the Blazers. Michael, last night it was a dramatic 3 from Brandon Roy. Same story tonight.
Same story tonight, Tony, and a great second quarter last night. The second quarter tonight, featuring the second unit, is the difference in the game.
L.Aldridge got off to a great start for the Blazers in this one. He is so important to this team, such an active threat on the offensive end.
Well, that jumper, that medium-range jumper, 15 to 17 feet. He gets it off pick and pop. He gets it off draw and kick. But LaMarcus spacing the floor, making that shot. Huge weapon for the Trailblazers.
8 points for him, 11 shots attempted, more than anybody else. When he's aggressive, good things happen, Michael.
Now, on the inside, LaMarcus not giving up on the play. Now, that's energy there, Tony.
And LaMarcus had a lot of help. In fact, the Blazers got another great effort from the reserves. It was a storyline last night, same storyline tonight in the desert.
But what the reserves were able to do, not only play with high intensity, they were able to get in the paint and get behind the defense. R.Fernandez taking it in a straight line to the rim. And then now on ball reversal, Nicholas Batum gets behind the defense and goes over the top. When you can get behind the defense, you can get to the front of the rim. Drawing kick, Rudy, 3 off the bench. Boy, that spot up is nice. Again, the energy in the reserves, difference in this basketball game. I love it when Travis uses the left and drives aggressively to the rim.
And Outlaw really part of both groups. He starts the game, but he's part of that bench unit, and you see the numbers speaking for themselves. 22-7, the reserves for the Blazers outpacing their counterparts on the Suns. Led by R.Fernandez is 9 points. What an impressive impact he's had already in his brief NBA career. We're going to take time out. When we come back, we'll take a look around the rest of the NBA. 13 other games on the docket. Brandon Roy freezing Boris Diaw. Part of the highlight.
This year, Bi-Mart is here to help you do everything you can to stay healthy during flu season. We now offer flu vaccines given by trained pharmacists. It's quick, convenient, and affordable. Check your neighborhood Bi-Mart pharmacy to find out more. For added convenience, your Bi-Mart pharmacy can now accept flexible savings account cards for payment. Make Bi-Mart your partner in good health and find incredible values on cold remedies and all the essentials to take care of your family. You want to take good care of your health, and we want to take good care of you. Bi-Mart pharmacies, just right for the Northwest.
Chevy. Every pickup and SUV we make is available with an EPA estimated 20 mpg highway or better. Toyota and Ford can't say that. Get in and drive yours now during the Chevy Fall Drive. Drive Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Toyota Tundra. Choose 0% APR or $5,000 purchase cash back on these 08 Chevy Silverado half-ton models. See your Northwest Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com.
He was the #1 draft pick. He's a slam dunk champion. He has 30% more lung capacity, the reflexes of a puma. And yes, Dwight Howard's got mad skills. But you've got French fries. Monopoly at McDonald's is back and serving up a shot at $100,000 every day. So you have exactly the same chance to win as anyone else. Period.
Hey, I think you're getting in his head a little bit.
It's anybody's game to win.
Fans, it's time for tonight's Blazing Hot Deal from Joe's Sports, Outdoor, and More. The home away from home for Trailblazers fans. Now, let's see what they've come up with for tonight's Blazing Hot Deal.
Oh, I like this one. Check out this Joe's Baja SC50 Impulse scooter. Not only is it street legal, but it gets 90 miles per gallon. Pretty good with today's gas prices, and it's just $799. Now that's a blazing hot deal.
Okay, fans, this deal won't last long, so hurry into Joe's to get the Blazing Hot Deal before it's gone.
This copyrighted telecast of the NBA may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used without the written consent of the NBA. Log on to NBA.com immediately following the game for live press conferences and video highlights.
A seesaw affair in the first half. The Suns led by 12. The Blazers led by 8. And at the break, it's a one-point game. The Phoenix Suns trailing at home to the Portland Trailblazers 50-49. 13 other NBA games on the schedule tonight. Let's take a look around the rest of the association highlights, beginning with Phillips Arena. The Atlanta Hawks taking on the Philadelphia 76ers, the home opener for Philly. Elton Brand, the prime acquisition with the dunk, 17 points for him. Reggie Evans with the dunk. The Sixers led by as many as 23, but the home team would come back thanks to Joe Johnson. Skirting across the lane, 2 of his 35, and then in crunch time, Joe Johnson stepping up again. Big in the fourth quarter, and the Atlanta Hawks come back to win 95-88. Michael, tell them what they want.
Basketball game.
Correct. New Orleans and Cleveland squaring off at New Orleans Arena. We'll take you there. And there we go. There's LeBron James around the screen, missing badly, but following his miss, you always know where it's going to come off if you're a good shooter, and he is. 15 points for LBJ in this game. Chris Paul, 24 and 15 assists in the game. Now more Chris Paul, the gold medalist, showing you how it's done, drawing the contact from Delonte West and finishing. Cleveland responding. Daniel Boobie Gibson from the flank. Yes, sir. 3 of his 14, but it was the Hornets that controlled it. 104-92. Michael, tell them what they want.
A basketball game.
Atlanta, Indiana, and Orlando picking up wins. Charlotte, Detroit, and Golden State victorious. New Orleans, Dallas, and Chicago all on the winning side. Houston by 12 over Oklahoma City, and Toronto beats Milwaukee by 4. In progress, the late games, Denver leading the Lakers by 2 in the fourth. Utah cruising in front of the Clippers, 90-64 in the fourth quarter. Of course, the Blazers are going to be taking on the Utah Jazz in their next game. Michael, second half. It was an interesting first half. What do you expect from the second half?
Well, I think the game's going to slow down in the second half, and the Trailblazers are going to have to execute in the half court and keep Phoenix on the perimeter. Keep Phoenix shooting over the top. Trailblazers turn those long shots into opportunity fast break points.
And those reserves were so good in the first half. That'll do it for us. When we come back, we'll send you back out to the U.S. Airways Center to Mike Barrett, Mike Rice, and Rebecca Harlow. The Blazers lead by 1. Rudy Fernandez already putting together some impressive highlights.
That's nice. That's real nice.
G2 is the smart choice for athletes because it is low in calories. And my mama like it. So if my mama like it, I like it.
Living the G2 life.
I know for a fact that as I continue to play golf, just like I play pool, I'm going to get better at it.
Are you the next Tiger?
I'm the next. If I continue to drink that G2, watch out, Tiger.
Living the G2 life.
Next week on Comcast Sportsnet. Before they were Blazers,
Get it down the lane.
they were some of college basketball's most elite players. Don't miss a chance to relive your favorite Trailblazers in some of their best games from college.
Aldridge with a block.
Before they were Blazers.
Here's Oden back in and doubled up and down.
All next week on Comcast Sportsnet. Game on.
This is my new Ford Fusion.
We found that Ford's fuel economy makes quite a story when you talk to the people who drive one.
The gas mileage on the Ford Focus is amazing. The Escape had the best gas mileage for a small SUV.
To not have to stop as much for gas is always going to be a pleasant surprise.
I was really surprised that I was able to get so far on so little.
Visit a Ford dealer to see our complete lineup of fuel-efficient vehicles.
Now with $2,500 cash back, pay under $13,200 for an 09 Focus. That's $2,500 cash back on Focus. See your Northwest Ford stores today.
Digital TV is coming this February. You've got questions. The experts at Standard TV and Appliance have answers. Choosing a plasma, LCD, or DLP TV? What size? What brand? Will you be watching movies or video gaming? And what accessories will you need? Standard can help with a huge selection of top-name brands and a low price guarantee. So you'll be ready for the amazing picture quality of HD TV. Standard TV and Appliance and KGW, your digital experts.
Portland Trailblazers basketball is being brought to you by your Northwest-grown, employee-owned Bi-Mart, just right for the Northwest. By Kia Motors, proud partner of the Portland Trailblazers. Kia, the power to surprise. By Corona and Corona Light, official sponsors of The Timeout. Relax responsibly. By Subway, $5 footlongs at Subway all day, every day. Subway, eat fresh. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you?
And back here in Phoenix, where the Trailblazers lead the Suns 50-49, Portland has led it by as many as 8. Phoenix has led it by as many as 12. And welcome back courtside here. Mike Barrett back with Mike Rice. Kind of an odd first half, back and forth. Both teams trying some zone defense. Phoenix trying to do that, but really a game of the bench units, and Portland's is obviously stronger than Phoenix's.
22-7, and what it will open up, they can't afford to take Nash out in that second half. Will the Blazers, even though they played last night, and this Phoenix team didn't, will the Blazers have more energy in the fourth quarter if Nash doesn't get a rest? It'll be interesting to see how the coaches substitute in the second half.
Let's take a look at some of the shooting stats. Phoenix started the game red hot. Portland did not, but they both kind of came to the same spot, both around 50%.
Yeah, and three-point shooting, that's a staple of the Suns, and they're only 4 for 8 at 50%, same as the Blazers in that category, thanks to R.Fernandez. Free throw shooting, either team to the line at all. That's because both defenses are doing a lot of sagging, making the other team shoot outside. Rebounding total, Blazers hanging right in there.
Blazers out-rebounded the Spurs badly last night.
Turnovers, that's a little area for concern for Nate McMillan with 8. But still, you've got a lead in the ball game. An assist, 10-8. And if the Blazers stay even in that category, I think they can win this ball game.
Nash 11 points to lead the way for Phoenix. Matt Barnes 10 as he started quickly, and Shaquille O'Neal came on quickly with 9. Brandon Roy 9, R.Fernandez 9, and LaMarcus Aldridge had 8. And Brandon Roy, of course, does his damage a lot of times in the second half. He has not looked to shoot. Only 7 shot attempts for Roy so far in this ball game. Kia, the power to surprise, brings us tonight's halftime highlights, and we focus tonight on a guy who was your X factor last night, R.Fernandez.
Yeah, but Rudy is really doing a marvelous job of spacing, taking the right shots, doing the right thing in the pick and roll. He's way beyond his years in basketball IQ. He just seems to do the right things, and he'll pull the trigger. He's not afraid to take the big shot.
So the Trailblazers with the 1-point lead now. Do you see this being a factor in the second half as far as when they go back to the benches again?
Yeah, you know, you've got to, I think it's Terry Porter's job now to see how he substitute against Nash.
Well, let's revisit our initial matchup for the ball game, and or your keys to the game, that is, and take a look at the keys that you talked about early, and this is where we're actually at.
Fast break points, 8-5, points in the paint, 16-16, stop Nash, pick and roll, and I think they pretty well have done that. Nash, when he's in the game, he's about a +10, but when he's out of the game, the Blazers' second unit has just controlled the game.
Well, 2 of the big gaffes in Blazer history, one of them happened in this building, not even a year ago, last April. We take a look back. Of course, there are 2 things that are in people's minds. This, of course, was last April, the first one, is you had one of your few turnovers of the season with the popcorn. And you're looking for a place to sit it. Okay, there it goes. all over the radio crew that was in front of us. And look at poor Beth. And here's the other one. Mike Schuler's first press conference as Trailblazers head coach. Yo! So we had to dig those up tonight. Nice job.
I didn't get injured on mine.
Just the guys in front of us who were operating the 24-second clock and whatnot. But no, tonight you were able. Where's your popcorn tonight?
It's underneath right here.
So you decided to go to the floor.
Lose it. Yeah, I'm not going to lose it tonight.
Very good choice by you. But you get the feeling that first couple of minutes of the third quarter very important as far as setting the tone. And Phoenix's starters, you look at the plus-minus category in that first half. I mean, it wasn't even close. Boris Diaw off the bench, he was a minus 18.
Yeah.
Steve Nash, a plus 18.
Right.
You don't see swings that dramatic in one game.
Yeah, but you do with so far this season for Steve Nash. He's just the guy that runs this team, and with him out of the lineup, they just can't afford to have him out of the lineup. And the Blazers can't afford to get down like they did in the first quarter and then make a run, because Phoenix, they've beaten the Blazers 9 straight times?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, and last night it was 12 straight by San Antonio. So this is a different beast, these Blazers this year.
And of course, we're back here 3 weeks from tonight.
And I hope we have the big guy, Greg Oden, back with the
hopefully.
team. He'll be ready for his shot.
Blake for 3 in the corner. He hit it and wound up on his backside. As not only is it a slightly late arriving crowd, there's nobody courtside back from the concession stands. Blake may have ended up in somebody's legs, but thank goodness they're all still out getting a drink.
What nice help that time by Joel Przybilla.
A.Stoudemire going to try and establish himself early. L.Aldridge, of course, with the 2 fouls. He picked him up early and trying to avoid picking up a third there.
That is getting very physical between Stoudemire and L.Aldridge. The referees are letting them play. I just hope they let him play when LaMarcus does the bumping.
Brandon Roy, you don't see that happen very often. Amari the steal, and he takes it coast to coast. So 9 points for Stoudemire. And that's just the 7th Portland turnover of the ballgame.
Yeah, that's, Phoenix having trouble with their half-court offense, and the Blazers helping them out by giving them easies.
Outlaw had Nash on him and had him back down deep. Blake for another 3.
Blake has been doing that now. That's not something unusual.
He shot 40% last season.
Yeah, if you watch practice every day, anybody gets open, Blake, he'll make it.
A 3 to get it back by Raja Bell, and that's off the mark.
Now that's what Martell Webster was doing so well. Defensive rebounding from that small forward spot.
Aldridge takes it to the middle, and a foul called on Amari Stoudemire. That's his second. Well, Steve Blake, 11 points in the ball game to lead Portland on just 5 shots. So Outlaw, the nice find here out of the double team, and Blake able to make him pay. And you can't overstate how much that helps you when you're trying to fight off a defense that's over-committing to guys. If you can spread them out like Blake did there, you can't double down.
Well, what you can do is get Amari Stoudemire into foul trouble. See, that they had no help, as you said, MB. When you're making outside shots, you can't leave those guys. And that time, Aldridge had a little space inside to get Amari to foul.
And Aldridge now the second Blazer into double figure scoring with 10.
I think that time they wanted to run a little trap at half court, and the big guys didn't get up, so they go back into their straight man-to-man.
Well, good sign so far for starting units versus starting units. Przybilla run into the pass to Shaq. He scores and he's fouled. And that's a good job by Amari. It's a draw Przybilla because that leaves Shaq with a smaller player, and Shaq went right through it that time. But if you're going to foul Shaq, you got to get him early and you got to get him hard, or he's going to get the and one.
Yeah, Roy was probably a half a step earlier. We watched R.Fernandez get there in time and knock the ball away. That time Roy did the same thing from the 2-guard position. But if you get there late on Shaq, he's just too strong. You have to grab him before he gathers himself. Once he starts up for the basket, Roy just found out you had no shot at stopping him.
You've seen that out of Greg Oden as well. And he'll be a player like that. With as strong as he is and explosive as he is. And Shaq rattles the free throw down. He's 4 for 5 at the line of this game.
5. Still at the end of the ball game would go hack a Shaq if they have to.
Roy defended by Raja Bell. Boy, you could hear the slap from here. Roy barking at Brian Forte, the second-year official, wanting a foul call. And look at Nate McMillan barking at 40 as well. And Nate really upset.
Well, it was a great up
and Phoenix turns it over. Unforced error by Raja Bell. Mad at himself. He and Matt Barnes miscommunication. Portland gets it back.
Matt Barnes with the big guy in the first half, 4 for 5, but the Blazers aren't leaving him. They're letting the big guys help out on Nash penetration, and the wings aren't coming in as quick.
Well, not only is Roy starting to do some barking at the officials, Prisbilla really riding Courtney Kirkland that time down the floor. Joel didn't do that very often. An outlaw fouled Noah Travel, and that's a good call. I think he did a little European skip as he went to the middle, and they don't allow that in the NBA. That's 9 Portland turnovers. Phoenix also at 9.
Yeah, that was a little bounce with the pivot foot that came down. He'd stay up in the air and do something, but he came down and then bounced.
Barnes to Bell. Stoudemire out. They're trying to go inside to Shaq. Prisbilla just the one foul. Shaq goes into Joel, missed the shot, and good box out by Aldridge. He grabs the rebound.
See, he just doesn't have the spring in his legs. The guy that shot 58% for his career. Only Artis Gilmore is higher for a career than Shaquille O'Neal on field goal percentage.
Roy gets a nice pick from Prisbilla. They wanted to go pick and roll. Ball was knocked away. Shot clock down to 3. Roy still with it. Bumped by Bell. Fadeaway shot. Not good. Prisbilla tries to keep it alive. He'll get called for the loose ball foul. And look at Brandon Roy. Brandon doesn't do a lot of complaining, but right now Raja Bell all over him. Bell, of course, a very good perimeter defender.
Yeah.
Brandon feeling he was bumped there.
He's the one, when you get Kobe's attention, and Kobe he says Bell is one of the guys along with Bowen and guys like that can play defense and bother you, real physical with you.
Stoudemire squares up on Aldridge. Now to travel with the ball inside. The Blazer bench certainly wanted that. A nice move by Amari, though, just too strong.
Yeah, and he did move his pivot foot. There is no doubt his pivot foot moved on that dunk attempt. Wasn't quite as obvious as Travis Outlaw, but it was there.
Aldridge trying to go right back at Stoudemire. Marcus hit hard, scores the bucket. What? Portland right now not going to get a call, and Nate McMillan realizes it.
Courtney Kirkland just can.
And the young Blazers, as last year they found out many times, got to play through this stuff, and that's what Nate tells.
Oh yeah, you got to, don't let the referees bother you. You got to play.
Matt Barnes, tough fadeaway shot over Outlaw. 12 points for Barnes in the game, and we're tied at 60. You get the feeling, though, Mike, if Portland starters can just hang and even things out at a draw, as Prisbilla fouled hard from behind by Barnes. Then when the bench comes in, that's when Portland can stretch a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, I think we'll see a different substitution pattern from Terry Porter.
Yes. Because in the first half, at this point, Phoenix had a 12-point lead.
Yes. And now he's talking to Raja Bell and Nash. He's not taking them out of the game. But as we said, that could really help the Blazers in the fourth quarter, because I think Nate will go with his bench. He's not afraid to put Sergio in.
At least parts of that bench.
Yeah.
Either Rudy or a Batum.
In fact, the Blazer bench was playing against their bench, but it really... Oh,
1 of 2 for Prisbilla. Really got the roll off the top of the backboard with the second. And the Blazers on top by 1. Neither coach has gone to the bench so far in the quarter. Nash defended by Blake. We're going to get a foul on, hopefully it's Blake, and it is. As Aldridge was also there. First foul on Blake. That's the 3rd team foul on Portland here in the quarter. Phoenix with 2 team fouls.
I'll tell you, it's not a picnic. You talk about centers banging against each other, and Oak, who he had to face, and Duncan if he would have stayed healthy, and Shaq here tonight. But think about Blake a little bit. He had to face Tony Parker. He has to face Nash.
Yeah.
He's got Darren Williams coming up.
Derek Fisher on opening night.
Sure, Derek Fisher.
Roy trying to go pick and roll with Prisbilla. Ball knocked away. And a loose ball foul called on Roy, trying to get it back. And boy, Aldridge and Stoudemire came together. And that did prevent a breakaway for Phoenix.
That was a good foul, and I'll tell you, it's once again Brandon Roy has 3 fouls. And Raja Bell is trying to get under his skin a little bit, get in there, get physical with him.
Last year in April, we're going to get a foul on Steve Blake. That's going to be a shooter for Nash, so chalk up 2 points for the Phoenix Suns. We're talking about tempers getting a little hot. Last year, when we were in this building the night of the infamous spilled popcorn event, that's when Jarrett Jack and Brian Skinner got into that little fracas late in the ball game in the last game of the regular season. So we saw some tempers that night, but certainly the intensity, not like it is tonight. And that was essentially a meaningless game for both teams.
Well, Nate is really on Brian Forte right now, really, because he feels the Suns are getting away with the same thing the Blazers are being called on. It's all right if it's a physical game both ways, and Forte now moves. For some odd reason, he stood right in front of Nate, and Nate really blasted him. Let's see if it pays dividends, having that little chat with Brian Forte.
Phoenix by 1. Aldridge in the corner for 3. Off the mark. Barnes was in his face. Might have affected that shot. Watch Stoudemire running that baseline far side. Shaq the trailer. The crowd started to urge Shaq to take the shot. Look at Joel Prisbilla. He is hot, and he's going to track down Brian Forte. And Joel better be careful. You don't see Joel barking very much at officials, but he's on the young Forte, just like Nate McMillan was moments ago. 5:57 left third quarter. Phoenix a chance to take a 4-point lead when we come back.
The next available representative will be with you in 4 hours, 10 minutes.
Get your identity stolen? You'll spend day after day on the phone getting it back with calls to the bank, credit cards, the Social Security office, and on it goes.
Please continue to hold.
Fortunately, there's Farmers Identity Shield. For just $65 or less per year, your credit is monitored.
Thank you for holding.
Plus, a personal fraud advocate helps make all those calls. So make only one now to a Farmers agent. 1-800-FARMERS.
As easy as it is for Greg Oden to bounce this ball is the ease of menu value pricing, because you're provided the invoice document with our great menu price.
It's a no-hassle process where you can make a decision in just minutes.
Visit our locations in Milwaukee and Wilsonville, as well as online at drivehomehappy.com.
Town and Country dealerships. They'll make you feel like you're number one.
Menu value pricing only at Town and Country dealerships. See us at drivehomehappy.com.
It's winter out there, and you've still got places to go. Wherever you're headed, whatever the weather, depend on Les Schwab to get you there. We'll help you make the right choice from a great selection of all-season tires, traction tires, and easy-to-install chains. And remember, a reliable battery is important in winter, too. Les Schwab Tires. We help make getting there safer.
What a beautiful night in Phoenix. It reached 95 degrees today. And with the weather back home, we understand, it was not a bad thing to be in Phoenix today. As we take you back to the steal of the game, 4 tickets in the purple section to the game against Sacramento on the 24th. And a Greg Oden bobblehead, just $88, 503-797. 9600 is the number to call right now, or as always, you can log on to trailblazers.com. 5:57 left in the third quarter. Joel Prisbilla moments ago picked up the foul. And A.Stoudemire a chance at the 3-point play as the Blazers continue to stay with their starters. Phoenix doing the same thing. Neither team going to the bench yet. There's the A.Stoudemire getting out in the passing lanes earlier this quarter.
They're becoming more physical now, Phoenix. They've up, and there's that steps that we talked about. He did lift the pivot foot up. But they've become more physical, and they're playing more pressure on the ball, something the Lakers did against the Blazers in the first game of the year at Staples. So now the Blazers have to up their physicality in the ball game. They have to show the Suns they're not going to be intimidated, as the Suns, out of the timeout for the second time tonight, go into a zone defense.
See if the Blazers can make them pay.
They leave Blake open. Look at Nash. He's trying to find Blake. He's not leaving him open.
Raja Bell all over Roy. Shot clock down to 3. Blake step inside, rattles it out. Prisbilla trying to keep it alive, but Shaq grabs it. And the Suns looking to run.
They'll try to get A.Stoudemire involved now. He's starting to get hot, and they'll get him one-on-one.
Rudy to the table for Portland. He'll check in next dead ball. Bell steps inside the three-point line and hits the 2.
Well, that's what you want Bell to do. You want him to shoot off the move rather than that standing three-pointer that he does so well.
Blake for 3, short. Rebound of A.Stoudemire. And that was a good look for Steve Blake, who's been hot. Matt Barnes running the floor. Can't turn your head on Phoenix, even though Mike D'Antoni's not here anymore.
Well, that time they were in a zone. Blake tried to shoot him out of it, but he was in the corner, and he couldn't get back. And Barnes came out of that same corner as Blake was in.
Prisbilla, a deep position on Shaq, and he goes with the left hand and scores. Big bucket for Joel, big bucket for the team.
Absolutely, and you want to go inside against that zone. I think the Blazers could go more. They've been working on getting the ball into Greg Oden in preseason before he got hurt. So go into Big Joel a little bit.
And that snapped a 9-0 Phoenix run.
Blazers in the zone.
Nash picked up by Prisbilla. That leaves Blake on Stoudemire. Shot clock at 1, and he hit it from the top of the key.
Well, they're starting to make shots like San Antonio made shots.
Nobody gets on Aldridge, and he jams. Blake found him out top.
That's that zone defense that was standing around. Terry Porter's going to have to win this game with offense, not defense.
Trying to go inside to Shaq. There's Stoudemire in the key for about 5 seconds. Finally clears. Shaq out to Raja Bell for 3. Rattles out. Portland gets a break there. Prisbilla 7 rebounds. Blake drop pass. Aldridge had an advantage. Wouldn't take it over Shaq. Now goes to the hook shot. And Joel grabs his 8th rebound. Blazers trying to go through Aldridge. Now come the pick and roll, see if they can get a switch. There it is. Shaq won't come out. At least he didn't come out initially. But Aldridge off with the jumper. Nash, Bell, rejected by Aldridge. Goaltend call.
A terrible call.
Look at Nate McMillan on Courtney Kirkland.
That was a bad call. He anticipated he was underneath and didn't get a good view of it.
No, that's bad. That ball clearly on its way up.
Sure.
And he didn't pin it on the glass.
See right there. See, he got it way ahead of time. That was a tremendous block.
And Blazers not letting R.Fernandez into the game yet, so Travis Outlaw has to come back on. It was not an official stoppage.
It should have been. It should have been a goaltending call.
Boy, it was a goaltending call. You mean shouldn't have been?
Right.
But an 8-point lead now for Phoenix once again. They led by as many as 12 back in the first half. Portland has led by as many as 8 in this game and held a 1-point halftime lead.
Now is a crucial time for Roy and Aldridge to step up against this zone.
Aldridge turns into a double team. Back to Roy. He takes a 3 and hits it. And down he went as Barnes applying the pressure.
See, when the other team goes against your zone, you can't.
Barnes to get it back. That's off. Rebound, LaMarcus Aldridge, and here comes Roy with the ball.
Your scorers have to find a way to stay in the ball game. Just because they go zone, that doesn't mean you have to go to sleep. Roy has to do what he's doing right now.
A little bit off with this one. Amari the rebound. Aldridge the foul. That's his 3rd. as Boris Diaw will check in for Phoenix. So now you're going to start to see the benches checking in. And this is where Portland took off in the first half and grabbed an 8-point lead. We'll see how long Terry Porter stays that way, if indeed the Blazers can take advantage of that again.
Hey fans, this is Brandon Roy.
And me, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Throws to Oden and he dunks it with one hand.
Individual game tickets are on sale now and they are selling out fast.
Do you have your tickets yet? Some games are already sold out.
Grabs the rebound. Rodriguez to Rudy.
You should also sign up for our new Trailblazer ticket alert service and get first access to newly released tickets throughout the season.
LaMarcus Jansen, boom, chakalaka.
Call 503-797-9600 or visit us at trailblazers.com.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
Aflac. The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
2:14 left here in the third, and the Phoenix lead is 5 over Portland. Wells Fargo, official financial partner of the Trailblazers, proud to take its customers to the next stage. Now they're taking us to the next game. That is Wednesday. We'll be in Salt Lake City, where the Blazers won last year and nearly won twice. 6 o'clock we'll have it for you. Right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. Rebecca Harlow, what do you have?
Phoenix went from slow and physical at the start of the third back to their run and gun pace. In that last timeout, Nate said he wants the Blazers to match them in both categories. He says he wants to push the ball aggressively. I asked assistant coach Joe Prunty whether or not the Blazers can handle that tempo on the second night of a back-to-back at this point in the season. He said, absolutely, you have to consider that we're using a 9-man rotation. The depth continues to come through for this team, guys.
Well, and that depth going to be on display a little bit now as Rudy Fernandez and Nicholas Batum and Channing Frye have checked in. And Terry Porter then counters. Leandro Barbosa in. Boris Diaw in. And this is where Portland had a big advantage in the first half.
And Steve Nash is out of the ballgame. So they did this a lot last year with Barbosa. They made him the point guard. He'd much rather run the wing. He was great in Mike D'Antoni's system because he'd just take off and go the full length of the court.
1 of 2 for Stoudemire. There was talk before the season, rumblings that Barbosa may be available for the right offer, and it never did happen. And you can see he's not being used the same way by Porter.
Yeah, it's not the same system, although it's pretty close to it.
No, it's Steve Nash. When he's in the game, it's the same system. Rudy, step back, had to fire it up. Shot clock was down to 2. Not a good offensive set for Portland.
Yeah, they didn't attack at all aggressively.
Blade pokes it away from Barbosa. Roy, that's not clear path because Bell was back.
That was a smart foul.
Bell's a smart player. That's 2 team fouls on Phoenix here in the quarter. First in the last 2 minutes.
Notice they took Shaq and Nash out, but they left everyone else in that they can go to. They need A.Stoudemire in there. I have a feeling he's going to average around 42 minutes a game this season. They'll try to rest Nash whenever they can.
Their bench looks like it did in the first half. He may average 48. Sergio, skip past Batum. Fernandez. Back to Batum, still plenty of time. Fernandez gets it back, fakes the 3, they fly out. Roy with it. Brandon drives and scores with a little floater.
That's pretty poised basketball for such a young group that's in the ballgame, and a small group. Once again, you have Channing Frye as the center. Nicholas, the power forward in that lineup. So this is a lineup that can cause you problems if you play man-to-man against them.
Barbosa, Raja Bell for three. Long two, they say. Long two.
Raja Bell has been doing that with this Phoenix team.
Roy gets a pick from Fry, goes right around Stoudemire and flips it in. So Brandon Roy, we saw him in the third quarter last night start to take over. Maybe we'll see that again. Brandon was 16 now. Zip pass, foul on Rodriguez. Going to be free throws for Amari. The basket's not going to count.
No. And the Blazers, and you see Channing Frye and Batum talking right now about where they should be in that zone. You don't leave Amari Stoudemire open, cutting up the middle. You don't have to worry about Nash finding somebody, so you sag in a little bit and see if Barbosa can run this ball club against the zone.
And it's been interesting talking to folks down here about Terry Porter and the system and the way it's different from D'Antoni's, but Terry kind of started practice out. He's got kind of the military march, where the players run from the back to the front. They've got the defensive slide. And the players are like saying, what are we doing?
Well, especially Shaq. You've got some older guys that don't know how to spend a lot of energy on defensive drills, so they're not real happy.
Roy knocked down, tried the three. Barnes ran him down. Blazers get it back. Clock at 2. They say no control for Phoenix. Shot clock. Horn goes off, but it didn't matter. The tip was off, and Stoudemire had it. Now Phoenix will hold for a final shot.
That would have been a big basket right there with Nicholas coming and stealing that ball.
Lob, Barnes, Stoudemire. Blazer bench wanting to shuffle of the feet, but he gets the bucket and the foul. And a chance at a three-point play with 5.3 seconds left in the quarter.
Phoenix being very aggressive against the Blazers zone, and they're finding Amari Stoudemire in the middle of it. So they may have to go back man-to-man, but they really don't have anybody. Channing Frye would have to go head up with Stoudemire.
Amari misses the free throw. Barnes grabs the offensive rebound. Barbosa for three. And the third quarter comes to a close. The Suns led by 6 after 1. Blazers led by 1 at halftime. Suns will take an 8-point lead to the final quarter. Blazers trying to break through. They snapped that long losing streak to San Antonio last night. They thought to snap this 9-game losing streak to Phoenix tonight.
You recognize this art? We all helped create it. You see, up close, it's a picture of 60,000 plastic bags from retail stores. Here's another 400 plastic bags, about what the average family uses in a year. Now picture these 3 reusable bags from Fred Meyer. They'll replace those 400 bags. They're strong, convenient, resist tipping, and they're easy to carry. So come on, it's the right thing to do. What's on your list today?
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Wheeler.
I'm Mike Barrett.
Hi, I'm Mike Rice.
His pass, Aldridge, the baseline cutter is Webster. We're used to hearing Trailblazers courtside on the radio.
Now we're moving to TV.
Crosses over through the middle, switches to his left.
Well, it's our weekly 2-hour look at the Trailblazers and the NBA. It's a magazine-style show, very free-flowing.
Fakes the 3, shot clock at 3. Oh, Alpha! Catch Trailblazers courtside every Monday night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet.
G2 is the smart choice for athletes because it is low in calories. And my mama like it. So if my mama like it, I like it.
Living the G2 life.
I know for a fact that as I continue to play golf, just like I play pool, I'm going to get better at it.
Are you the next Tiger?
I'm the next. If I continue to drink that G2, watch out, Tiger.
Living the G2 life.
I love steak, man.
Enjoy your steaks, gentlemen.
Is this it?
You didn't order?
No, valet's getting mine. I'm not a steak guy anymore, you know? Oh, there it is.
Triple steak burrito.
See, I'm more of a triple steak kind of guy.
Oh. Taco Bell's new triple steak burrito. Steak, steak, and more grilled marinated steak. There's steak night, then there's triple steak night.
Triple steak guys, that's what we are. In here.
Well, led by A.Stoudemire, the Phoenix Suns take an 8-point lead to the fourth. Amari had just 5 points at halftime, but 16 in the third quarter alone. And the Suns, that 8-point lead. Well, Joe's and the Blazers want to know where in the world our fans are wearing Blazer gear. So you got to send pictures of yourself in unique locations in our world wearing your Blazer gear. Send it to us at the For Fans page on trailblazers.com. And we'll show one winner each game. There's Caroline Rich in Ireland. And don't forget, Joe's is your official home away from home for all Trailblazers gear. It doesn't have to be Ireland or Great Wall of China like last night. It can be
Klamath Falls.
Yeah, Gresham.
Rich Patterson's home.
Right. Or, you know, take a trip to Roy, Oregon, where I know Brandon has a lot of fun. Well, the Suns turned it on late in that quarter, outscored Portland 22-11. Matt Barnes for 3.
Well, that doesn't help. They're shooting well. Remember, last year, this team averaged 90 field goal attempts a game. They now have 56, so they're not taking as many shots, but they're shooting well tonight.
Blazers need an answer. Outlaw, off-balance shot, hitting from the elbow.
See, that's not looking at a scouting report. You know he likes to put it down hard going right, and then it's square right up. That was right where he likes it, and they let him get to that spot. Travis Outlaw make that shot all night.
And if the Blazers are going to come back in this ball game and get back into it, it's going to be these groups on the floor they're going to do it against. Barbosa goes down hard. Clean foul by Portland. It's going to be on
Channing and Travis.
And by the way, Texas Tech has just pulled off the biggest win in its football history as they have beaten Texas.
I don't know how big that was.
Is huge.
Because Texas Tech, I was arguing with Antonio.
I'm not saying huge upset. I'm saying biggest win in franchise their little football program's history.
Yeah, Texas Tech could score. Tonight they showed they could play a little defense too.
Absolutely.
So that's a great win. That Alabama and Penn State now are the guys that everyone's got to go after. Florida looks very good.
Good today.
Yeah, late in the year. I wonder what our Beavs will do.
We'll find out. 10-point lead for Phoenix. Their biggest lead was 12, well, way back in the first quarter, and then Portland took over in that second quarter. Rudy for 3. Fry tracks down the rebound. This group has got to make a dent in this lead if Portland's going to have a chance. Fry tried to pack it. Grant Hill the foul. And free throws for the Phoenix native, Channing Frye. With a fine. Look at that pass by Rudy between the legs. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Channing may have got the benefit there of the call as he went up and really initiated the contact, may have hit Grant Hill. So Portland fortunate there to get one of those calls back.
Well, Brian Forte is getting it from all angles now.
Well, when you're a second-year official, that's kind of how it is. Not to say that he's not a good official, but guys are a little more willing to speak up to the young officials who are doing a good job.
And notice Nate has a great deal of confidence in this second unit. He put them in the ball game with the Blazers down. So it'll be interesting now to see. They still have Grant Hill and A.Stoudemire in the ball game. Matt Barnes. Barbosa's running the team at the point.
Boris Diaw against Outlaw all the way to the rim.
Diaw couldn't find a spot when he played with the Atlanta Hawks. He was part of the Joe Johnson trade.
Outlaw, tough shot. Barbosa right on the hip of Travis as he let that go. Barnes got away with it. I don't think it was a double. It just looked awkward.
Yeah, it was a fumble. Gathered in.
Diaw on the block against Fry. Channing's got to be careful being physical. Diaw missed the shot, then committed the loose ball foul. Now he's going to block at Brian Forte.
Diaw's normally a very passive type player.
individual. He's looks to pass more, but he's put on around, looks like 25 pounds.
He has put on some weight.
Yeah, he looks more like Shaq than he does.
I'm not sure it's the big kind of weight.
No, I don't like him. He had a lot of finesse, but I guess he's going to be playing a lot of center. So
Rudy gets past Barnes, drops the pass to Outlaw, collects himself, throws up a wild shot and missed it. Stoudemire, the rebound.
You have to look to get fouled.
Then Batum steals at the other end.
He can do that.
Blazers have to take advantage and look to get out and run. It's still a 10-point deficit. Rudy crossover, spins it up and in. Beautiful move by Fernandez. Went baseline and used the little English again.
See, he makes it look easy. That was not easy, folks. You've got a lot of bodies in there, and he just kind of went right through the middle.
Hill, boy, lucky to get that pass back. Barbosa was not the intended receiver there. Mari baseline. Fry blocks the shot, ensuring there'll be no and one as Brandon Roy will check back in. Early call for Brandon at 9:08 left, but the Blazers need offense. Take a look at Rudy here. Batum the steal.
Yeah, great anticipation, and you just look at this. Once again, in the air, floating, uses the basket.
And we saw him do that shot with the left hand in the first half.
He couldn't block that because he went on the other side.
DL. Baseline, gets the roll.
Maybe try another guy from Phoenix, St. Mary's High School, Bayless. He might give you a little offensive spark, although Phoenix doing a nice job on the offensive end scoring without Shaq and Nash in the ballgame.
A chance for Roy to go up against somebody other than Raja Bell. Batum for three and rattles out. Boy, Nicholas thought that was down.
Sure looked like it. Grant Hill has played some point guard in his time with the Detroit Pistons. Those great years.
Turns to the inside, and Batum had to come up and foul. So 2 free throws for Hill. As we've come to a timeout, this Blazer bench unit not having the success it had in the first half against Phoenix, but it's only a 10-point game and still plenty of time left. Aldridge, top of the key. Gosh! The shot clock buzzer time. Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, and the rest of the Portland Trail Blazers wrap up their first road trip of the year in Utah. Outlaw over again. Last season, the Jazz snapped Portland's 13-game winning streak, and you know the team is ready for a little redemption. Both teams are stacked with talent and have their sights set on an early Northwest Division lead. The Trail Blazers, the Jazz, Wednesday at 6.
Someday, a backyard. Today, talk to a Wells Fargo banker. You'll find low rates and a mortgage that's right for you. Seize your someday. Wells Fargo.
We're launching a great new product served in a bowl. Who knows what it is?
Peas.
Coleslaw.
Melon balls. Prunes. Mints.
Little gifts.
Poppy seed. Curds and whey. Buttons. Acorn.
Shaved ice.
You wouldn't think you could get an entire meal in a bowl, but you can. Introducing Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Your choice of sirloin steak or grilled chicken on a bed of steamed rice topped with broccoli, carrots, and teriyaki sauce.
Laser pointers. Baked trout.
Lipstick.
Starfish.
Glitter.
Rain. Marbles.
Kelp. Confetti.
10-point lead for Phoenix. 8:19 left in the game as the Blazers completing a very difficult back-to-back here tonight. Aflac trivia question. Clyde Drexler, all-time leader in Blazer history with 21 triple-doubles. Name the next two.
In Blazer history.
Triple-doubles.
Okay, it would have to be Petrie.
No, think of the context of the evening.
Oh, Terry Porter.
Yes.
He'd have to be one.
And then you got to go back a little farther.
A little further back. Terry Porter. Who is it? Oh, Sidney Wicks. Sidney Wicks.
Oh, UCLA.
See, I couldn't answer that because then you would accuse me of.
No, you can do. I don't accuse. Here's Terry as a Blazer at the old MC.
And it's good to see the Rose Garden rocking like the old Memorial Coliseum rocked when Terry Porter was throwing it down. Look at the fit, Cliffy.
Blazer connections here tonight. And you know, Jim Paxton in the building doing some scouting as well. There's a throwback Clyde jersey. A lot of Blazer jerseys in the stands tonight. You wouldn't believe it.
A lot of jerseys.
Well, you ask and you receive. Jared Bayless.
Oh,
the former
I sent a note down to
Phoenix star, high school star at St. Mary's, same high school as Channing Frye, as Rebecca told us earlier.
Now he's got to let the action come to him. Don't try to initiate too much in front of the home folks, because Nate will be watching very closely. But if your opportunity comes, you're a score. He's looked about the same in that St. Mary's uniform as he does now.
It was only 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Channing Frye looked like a different person.
They need Aldridge. That shot off the mark. And the Blazers right now trailing by 12. That matches the largest lead of the night for Phoenix. And the scary part is they've done it here with their bench. That didn't happen in the first half.
See, without Nash in the game, they put Bayless in to pressure Barbosa. Get a little pressure in the game on a guy that's really a two-guard.
Grant Hill to Barnes, where Barnes has made a difference. Off the mark here, though. Blazers had the ball heading the other way, and a late loose ball foul called on Steve Blake. And a timeout on the floor. Nate McMillan is hot. 22nd timeout. Well, we talked about Jared Bayless at St. Mary's High here in Phoenix. And then, of course, played 1 year at Arizona. But you mentioned how much he looks like he looked in high school. He even had, look at that, that's in high school. That's amazing. Look at that other bench. Those kids look 10 years old.
I'll tell you, he's not getting a lot of playing time, but he can play. It's just the numbers game.
Channing Frye doesn't quite look the same though.
Channing Frye has put on some muscle.
Yeah. And went to the same high school. In fact, Channing's brother played with Jared. And of course, they both went to Arizona. Channing and Jared.
Yeah.
So Phoenix ball following the loose ball foul, which had the Blazer bench up in arms. Tough defense by Roy, and he blocked it. Grant Hill tried to post him up, and Ron Garrison says clean block. Blazers, though, have to get busy. Still plenty of time left, but trailing by 12.
Grant Hill has the savvy, but he doesn't have the legs to go with it any longer. Of course, he had all kinds of knee problems. So did A.Stoudemire. He had microfracture, and look what he's doing these days.
Aldridge back to Roy. They need a big shot like that. That's off the mark. Blake keeps it alive off of Shaq, so it'll be Portland ball, new shot clock.
I like what Blake's doing. He's being aggressive. He knows they're behind. Take a chance. Go in, and Nash is not in there to run that fast break. So let 4 hit the offensive board.
See if they'll get Bayless a chance to show what he can do as far as looking to score and drive.
Nate called his number.
Blake back to Aldridge. LaMarquez hits this one. Aldridge 16 points in the game now. 7 for 18 shooting, and it's a 10-point game again.
I like what Bayless did. He didn't try to force anything. And they called his number to go one-on-one, but he made sure he wasn't going to force anything. Stay in the game. That's a sharp rookie.
Against Prisbilla. Good defense by Joel. Barbosa, the open three. Loose ball foul. On Shaq or on Prisbilla?
It's on Prisbilla.
Look at Courtney Kirkland. The long
He's baiting. He's baiting.
Prisbilla.
See, when you're...
It's on Shaq. That's what I thought. Oh, Joel is trying to say to Courtney, I apologize. I misunderstood.
Yeah.
We're all good, aren't we?
Yeah, I misunderstood, too. I thought he looked at Joel. What he was saying was, I didn't call it on you.
Joel's been fiery.
Maybe he changed his mind when Joel did all that.
Well, hopefully that would encourage that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
We're all for that.
Zone defense. Need that outside score.
Bayless. Baseline drive. Kicks it out. Roy finds the open man. That's Blake for 3. That's long. Rebound Shaq. Good ball movement by Portland. Got the shot they wanted.
Yeah. Big Shaq playing that zone. He hasn't moved out of that middle, so he'll gather in those defensive rebounds when you don't have him moving.
Shaq against Joel this time. Gives Joel the elbow and then scores. Good move by Shaq. Showing a little bit of the ability to be mobile again, going underneath the back of the basket. But Shaq in this ball game, 14 points, just 7 shots. That pass taken away by Barnes.
It's a shame, too, because the Suns really didn't know what defense they were in. They had 3 in a zone and 2 in a man-to-man.
Shaq wants Prisbilla again.
Well, that looks like the Shaq that's the active leading scorer right now, career-wise, in the NBA.
Blazers had 50 points in the first half. They have just 30 so far in the second. Roy through the middle. He goes down and hits the shot.
Down. Blazers need 3 stops in a row, and they could be in this game, but they got to do it on the defensive end now.
They're going right back to Shaq.
Yeah, big Shaq is.
Bosa messed that up, though. He was in the wrong spot. Grant Hill for 3. Bayless grabs the board.
I'd much rather him shoot that than Shaq, who's in a little rhythm now to go at Joel Prisbilla.
Still time left, but not a lot to spare. Bayless.
I'm going to tell Shaq to get his while he can, because Greg Oden is the next guy ready to go at.
Roy hit hard by Shaq. He'll shoot free throws. And a timeout on the floor. So a chance for Portland to once again cut Phoenix's lead to 10 with the Suns bench. Nice job in that third quarter to hold the Blazers at arm's length.
I had the worst day ever.
That's nice.
Mind if I vent for a while?
Mine? I prefer it.
First, I get to work, and the elevator's working, so I have to medicine. Alice totally pulls rank on the
That's vent.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about venting. What are you talking about?
The vented wide mouth can from Coors Light. It lets in air for a smooth, refreshing pour.
So should I start venting without you?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
He was the #1 draft pick. He's a slam dunk champion. He has 30% more lung capacity, the reflexes of a puma. And yes, Dwight Howard's got mad skills. But you've got French fries. Monopoly at McDonald's is back and serving up a shot at $100,000 every day. So you have exactly the same chance to win as anyone else. Period.
Hey, I think you're getting in his head a little bit.
It's anybody's game to win.
If you want a loaded truck for a lower price, then you want the special edition Ford Ranger XLT. At 26 MPG, it's America's most fuel-efficient pickup with a 5-star safety rating. Now with $3,500 cash back, get a Ranger XLT Super Cab for $229 a month plus a 2-year no-charge maintenance plan. Equipped with power windows, power locks, keyless entry, AC, and CD player. Up-level gear, entry-level price. Get your special edition Ranger before November 3rd. Only at your Northwest Ford stores.
Suns on top by 12, but 2 free throws coming by Brandon Roy momentarily. Well, Blazer individual game tickets, as you know, are on sale now. Only a limited amount are available, though, because of all the season ticket holders this year. Plus, you can sign up for our new ticket alert service. Call 503-797-9600 or visit trailblazers.com. By the way, coming up on Monday night, right back here on Comcast Sportsnet, is Trailblazers Courtside on TV and radio with us. And I think Wheels is going to join us too. During the break, a quick stop in the pit stop for Roy. Got some new wheels. I think it was his orthotics they swapped into a new pair of shoes.
Now, I'll tell you, NASCAR never did it that fast.
No, that was
they couldn't change tires nice like job. That. That was a good move.
And Brandon back at the foul line with his new boots.
And I hope back at home, Grego is watching and doing his on the treadmill or whatever Jay Jensen has him doing.
Now he's playing Guitar Hero on one TV, and next to it is the game. We know what's going on.
I tell you, he'll be back a lot quicker than people think, and ready to play.
20 points for Roy now.
Along with the newly signed Martell Webster.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great to get Martell back. That has been...
I tried to get a loan from him yesterday.
I hurt you.
Yeah.
I also heard his response. Barnes inside. Ball nearly went in. Fouls on Blake. With Barnes to the free throw line. 4 fouls on Blake. But Blazers really missed Martell Webster as well as he was playing. In training camp, worked so hard in the offseason and then played well in the exhibition season. That first game, of course, he and Rudy had the place buzzing like a playoff game. He then had the stress fracture, but talked to him last night. Says he's ahead of schedule. He gets the boot off in another few days. And he was in good enough shape before the injury. That's going to save him from a long rehab.
Sure. And he's anxious to get back.
Blake wouldn't take the 3. Stoudemire right in his face to Bayless. He will take the 3. He was short on that. And the rebound, A.Stoudemire.
That zone defense is helping the Suns a great deal with big Shaq in the middle and Stoudemire getting rebounds on the weak side. It has been very good for them tonight.
Murray traveled with the ball. Got those long strides and big feet, and oftentimes they'll change between the heel being the pivot or the toe, and that is that case there. Blake out to Bayless. Portland starting to look for 3s now. Roy short on that one. Rebound Shaq. And going to be tough now. 12-point game.
Since Shaq's arrival, the guy that was been helped the most was A.Stoudemire. He was averaging 23 a game before Shaq, and he picked it up to 28 points a game when Shaq came last year. So Shaq's presence has taken a lot of what Amari, usually they used to double team him. Now they can't with Shaq.
Blazers have been shooting the 3s well. A little shuffle by Bayless got away with that. Travis for 3, and he hits. Portland had been just 1 for their last 9 before that connection for Outlaw. He becomes the 5th Blazer in double figures now with 11.
I'm glad Bayless has a chance to play tonight. His folks are here, a lot of his friends, and it's always nice to come back home and play.
Shaq had that ball poked away, but it went right to Phoenix, and here's Barnes to Stoudemire. Well, A.Stoudemire didn't score in the first quarter. It was a non-factor. But since then, 23 points, and this crowd in Phoenix on its feet as they are sensing another victory over Portland in this building. 2:24 left. Fans, it's time for tonight's Blazing Hot Deal from Joe's Sports, Outdoor, and More. The home away from home for Trailblazers fans. Now, let's see what they've come up with for tonight's Blazing Hot Deal.
Oh, I like this one. Check out this Joe's Baja SC50 Impulse scooter. Not only is it street legal, but it gets 90 miles per gallon. Pretty good with today's gas prices, and it's just $799. Now that's a blazing hot deal.
Okay, fans, this deal won't last long, so hurry into Joe's to get the Blazing Hot Deal before it's gone.
Damn, I can explain.
Dare you!
You bought a playoff tickets for an anniversary gift. If love is a game, you're a loser, so take cover with Shroom and Swiss. Watch out for that big TV set. It looks like you're already missed. Ha, ha, ha. Mushrooms wrapped in melted cheese and a gentle Angus kiss. The sweetest thing from Burger King. New steakhouse. Shroom and Swiss.
Chevy. Every pickup and SUV we make is available with an EPA estimated 20 mpg highway or better. Toyota and Ford can't say that. Get in and drive yours now during the Chevy Fall Drive. Drive Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Toyota Tundra. Choose 0% APR or $5,000 purchase cash back on these 08 Chevy Silverado half-ton models. See your Northwest Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com.
Tony Luffman and Michael Holden inside the home court studio. We'll be with you after the game. It's an 11-point game now, Michael. The Suns leading. The Blazers were up 1 at the break. What's happened?
What has happened, Tony, is the Suns have found success with the zone defense, and they've stuck with it. The Trailblazers, plenty of open looks from the perimeter, but not able to knock them down.
Let's head back out to the floor to Mike Barrett, Mike Rice, and Rebecca Harlow.
All right, thank you, guys. More coming up from Tony and Michael in the postgame show tonight. The J. Lee's Auto postgame show, as Scott Zachary reminds me. Thank you.
Yeah. Can't forget that.
No. Blazers shooting down to 45% now for the ball game is what we have seen from a young team here. Kind of is what you see sometimes on the second of a back-to-back. Tired legs.
Yeah.
Not to use excuses, but it's always a factor.
Fernandez, Rudy back in the ball game.
Rudy for three. Hit it.
That's why he's back in there.
This is an 8-point game with 2:10 left.
Yeah, you know, this is the NBA. Anything can happen. But the Blazers haven't been making stops. They've been doing a much better job poise-wise on the offensive end now against that zone. They kind of figured it out, but
Food choosing some clock. Barnes back to Nash. Got to put up a three.
47% three-point shooter last year. Only Capona beat him out at 48%. He can shoot it.
Rudy back to Roy. Blazers got to put up a shot using too much clock here. Outlaw long. Aldridge keeps it alive. Got Rudy behind him. Now finds him. Fernandez for three. And hits another one. Long two, they say. 16 in the game for Rudy.
Yeah, he's got to make sure he's behind that line. When you're making a comeback, you got to exchange threes for twos and then make a couple of stops and get a couple of threes. So don't have your foot on the line.
We approach the 1-minute mark. Matt Barnes for three. And a loose ball foul on Phoenix. Not sure that was the shot with time still remaining on the clock that Terry Porter wanted, but hey, live by the three, die by the three.
Well, Barnes is used to playing for Nelly, and Nelly says that's a good shot.
That's green light. There is no yellow light there.
That's right.
So Rudy will shoot free throws. Now a chance to get 2 points with the clock dead. That's what a loose ball foul does for
Sure. And, put Rudy up there. He's going to knock down two. Just a little earlier, but A.Stoudemire stepped up along with that zone defense. The two of those things, and Shaq getting a couple of nice baskets inside.
So that's 18 points in 21 minutes for Fernandez in this game tonight, as we're inside a minute to play now.
See, this would be the time that you would do the hack a Shaq if they'd have left Shaq in the game. That's why he is not in the game, because everyone would hack a Shaq and put him on the line.
Nash. Bell back to Nash. Wouldn't take the three. Instead, they foul. It's as good as 2 points with Nash going to the free throw line.
Fifth best last year, 91%. Shot
clock was down to 2, so they used a lot of the clock. Nash so good in these situations.
7 points difference. You might want to foul, although there's some pretty good foul shooters out there that I'm looking around. Even A.Stoudemire, not a bad foul shooter.
Well, this game, a lot like the first meeting between these teams in this building last year, when Portland was in it late and Nash simply took over.
Yeah.
But Blazers back here once again in 3 weeks. We're back here 3 weeks from tonight to play the second and final game of the season in Phoenix.
It takes a little time to get used to flying in at 2:30, get to bed by 3 o'clock, and then come and play a back-to-back. It just takes time to get used to doing that, and the Blazers, it looks like they ran out a little bit of gas tonight.
Well, when they get these situations where the outside shooting leaves them a little bit, that's when, as we mentioned, you really miss a guy like Martell Webster, who stretches defenses and can help be a zone killer when teams decide to go to a zone. Well, coming up next, it doesn't get any easier, that's for sure, as this brutal early season schedule continues. At Utah on Wednesday night, the first 5 games, first 5 opponents for the Blazers this season, all won over 55 games last year. That's how tough the schedule is. 3 of those 5 on the road.
And you can even go further than that. 15 of the first 24 were playoff teams last year.
16 of the first 24 on the road this year.
Yeah, and that is tough. And Darren Williams will play probably his first game since his injury for Utah. He'll be back, the leader of Utah Jazz, as they have already lost one at home without him.
Rudy, catch and shoot 2 is home. So Fernandez continues on his new high.
See, and that was set up. They were getting him off the pick.
7-point game again.
And they're learning.
Got a foul now. You don't want to foul that guy.
No. Dial caught the ball. That's who they should have fouled immediately. Because with Rudy going like he is, you know, a 3 for 2 every time down. But see, now they're learning. Nate is looking at this and saying, hey, this is the guy that we want to try to set up in future games when when we need a quick 3. This guy coming off, he can really catch and shoot. And this guy on the foul line can shoot foul shots.
Well, Phoenix, if they can hang on, and it certainly looks like they're going to, will extend this winning streak over Portland to 10 games, and that'll be the longest winning streak the Phoenix has against any NBA team. Last Blazer win was on March 12th in 2006, and you know, we talk about Steve Nash and the fact that we've seen this before. Phoenix will improve with this victory to 14-1 against the Trailblazers since Nash returned to the Suns prior to the 04-05 season. So Nash in full control, and the Suns about to pick up the win.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
He was the #1 draft pick. He's a slam dunk champion. He has 30% more lung capacity, the reflexes of a puma. And yes, Dwight Howard's got mad skills. But you've got French fries. Monopoly at McDonald's is back and serving up a shot at $100,000 every day. So you have exactly the same chance to win as anyone else. Period.
Hey, I think you're getting in his head a little bit.
It's anybody's game to win.
Suns on top by 9, 27.3 left, and Terry Porter, who has one victory against his former team, Portland, as a head coach. That was when he was in Milwaukee. He's about to pick up his second and his first as Phoenix head coach. But as you know, talking to Steve Kerr before the game, you know, Kerr kind of joking, saying, things have been so good here that even when you do win, it's like, what, you only scored 108? You didn't get to 120? And so the standard is so high here right now for Porter. He's in a tough situation. Blake, fade away from 10. Long, and that'll do it. I don't think Portland will foul. And Phoenix won't have to shoot. Shot clock is on. Portland will foul. And the Blazers get booed for not giving up on a ball game. That makes sense.
Blazers come back here pretty quick.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. By that time, the talk around Portland will be the rotation of players, because Martell and Greg will be back.
And I don't know Martell in 3 weeks. That's pretty optimistic.
I'm telling
shortly
you,
after that.
Martell, they say December 5th. I got
3 weeks is not December 5th.
I know, but I got a feeling he'll be back before then.
Okay.
He's the quick healer, and he wants to be back.
I know he wants to be back. He never wanted to be out. Roy for 3. And A.Stoudemire the rebound, and that'll do it. As the Blazers had a lead as big as 8, and in fact led at halftime by 1. But the Suns in that second half, behind A.Stoudemire, who didn't score at all in the first quarter, but then scored 23 in the final 3 quarters, and the Suns get the victory tonight. And they improved to 2-1 on the season. We'll have more from U.S. Airways Center after this.
Place I can imagine being right now.
Washington Post columnist Sally Quinn has been part of the social scene here for decades. She offered some insight into the tone the First Family will set.
People are comparing this to Pamela, and they are comparing this to the Kennedys. What similarities do you see?
The age, the youth of first family, they have young children. So I think that spirit of hope and optimism and idealism is very Kennedy-esque.
We dished with Sally over lunch at the Bombay Club, just a stone's throw from the White House. Great for a power lunch, but what about family time?